When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember, I remember you. When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. Oh, 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 I could always be the one you wanna call when it's cold outside. I will always be the one that's right here standing by your side. Open up your heart and let me in. I promise not to break you. I promise I'll be all that you want. So let me in my heart before. Let me in. Oh, your love explodes. Our heart implodes. Your love explodes. Our hearts implode. Can we ride in this moment? Can we ride? Nothing's stopping us tonight. No, not a single brake light in our sight in our way. In our way, I'll be your passenger. You lead the way. You lead the way. I'll let you take the wheel. I'm feeling something real. I need to feel that breeze rush your feeling. Not a single taillight in our sight in our way. All I see are green lights ahead, lighting our way. Lighting up our way, yeah. Lighting up our way. Lighting up our way. They light it up, they light it up. Can we drive right into this feeling? Can we drive? 'Cause there's a way I'm stepping tonight. No, not a single red light in our sight, in our way. In our way, yeah. I'll be our passenger. You lead the way. I'll let you take the wheel. I'm feeling something real. I need to feel that breeze rush over me. You lead the way. Not a single taillight in our sight, in our way. All I see are green lights ahead, lighting our way. Lighting up, yeah. Lighting away. All the green lights, lighting up now. All the green.
Oh yeah, baby. Getting ready to start very soon. Very soon, guys. About another 4 minutes. Get started with the live cast. I actually I keep on forgetting Saturday night about the Doki Doki news things. I can't talk about them today because I've kind of have the whole thing already structured. But I promise for next week I will talk about, even if it's old news, I still want to talk about the Doki Doki Panic, the things that people are over there up there at the BBC and are saying about this game. I kind of started watching it and I'm like, oh wait a minute, I need to talk about this eventually, but I've already got the whole thing structured. So that's kind of something I just forgot. I'm very sorry. I will definitely talk about it next week. Maybe if we have some time left today, I'll dive into one of them, but it'll be more like a stream of consciousness sort of deal. I think maybe the one that's like the 13-minute the Daily Motion video. I think that one I may actually. We'll see how the time goes. But I just keep forgetting. It's been so crazy this week because at work we are getting so swamped recently. Plus what I was doing yesterday. It's just it's either that or and the stuff with my mom. That's she should be there right now. I think they're taking her later today to the hospital, and then they're gonna get her prepped for that tonight, and tomorrow that's the big day for the surgery. So I'm hoping that it helps, because it's very annoying. It's kind of like, I mean, imagine she's basically like her face, like a part of her face is just constantly always hurting, and it's nerves. It's a nerve that's causing that. So so they're trying to work that and figure out how to so this procedure is supposed to help. So I'm hoping that they could do something for her. I'm a little nervous because it's just mainly of the nature of the actual surgery. I mean, they have to drill through her skull, and I'm very nervous. I mean, fuck me, man. It's my mom. I'm trying to don't worry, I'm keeping it together. I think everybody in my family is keeping it together. I mean, it's kind of worrying. That's all. Ugh. And of course, my AC isn't working again, so I'm getting like fan air. Gotta go again to my landlords and say, hey guys, whatever you guys are doing, it's not working. It's summertime, it's over 90 degrees, and this thing works for like a little bit, and then I stopped working for a bit. We are live. Get my posture. Posture is important. Very, very important. Very, very important, guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the LiveCast, everybody. Welcome to the weekly show that we here, me, Fico, your humble servant, show you, and we present the stuff that's been happening in the news and video gaming recently. And we are going to have a doozy of a show today. We're going to talk about failed battle royale. We're going to talk about No Man's Sky. We're going to talk about video games being bad. We're going to talk about Germany and what are they doing to help. And we're going to talk a couple of other things throughout the day. But first, a couple of announcements. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I did a short 3-hour stream, and I played a mod made by our Lord and Savior Gaben Zone, and he called it Cup Kaizo, making the game a lot more challenging. But what I didn't know was the small intricacies of the game, which I like to discuss. Like, for instance, this little mod allows you to be able to see the deaths that you've had, the coins that you've collected. This is almost like a completionist or a speedrunner's aid as well too. It shows you when you're taking against the enemies, they show you how much life each enemy has. A big reason as to why Cuphead is great is because you're just always on the edge of your seat. You're wondering when this boss is gonna die. So but it's cool because it still doesn't take away from the tension, because when you see that life meter go down, you always are like realizing as to when this boss is going to die. Also, it also tells you how many parries you've done. It also tells you how many times your last score, your last rating. So you know what? I mean, for its difficulty, added difficulty, I mean, this is truly expert. It's quite good. It's quite good. I cannot wait to see other stuff that he's working with. We're specific, him and his crew are working on Cupcore, which that's their big project, which I cannot wait for them to tell me. So when is that going to happen? Because then we'll play. You will be impatient and less careful. Saturnight says. Yes, that's true. Because I mean, it's kind of like because the life bar is there. Well, you know what? The problem with the thing is that the life bar, actually, I'd like to make a little bit of a contrary point. I do think that the life bar does add element of carefulness as well too, because in like, for instance, in a game like Dark Souls, where you could be killed with 1 or 2 hits, you want to know how much the dude has left. So as a viewer, it's really interesting and builds up more tension. That I could definitely agree. You don't have to have you know, like, your bosses don't have to have life bars, but the thing is that when you have life bars, it kind of is as a, like, you know what, you want to know how far along you are with this. It's a mechanic to let you, like, also plan out your attacks. I know that from the bullet. Oh, yeah, bullet hell is a good example of that for sure, because you never know how much life your bros have, but it does add tension. So, but honestly, despite that, I still enjoyed. I am going to be promoting the link. The link is going to, I'm going to be sharing the link for the download for Cup Kaizo, along with instructions on how to set it up as well too. It's pretty easy. I'm also going to be sharing the recording that I did yesterday. After the cast, I'm going to turn it into a highlight, and then I'm going to turn that into a YouTube video, to which I'm going to turn that into to get this over to YouTube, so I could show people how to set it up, and also as well, you know, so that people can see this guy and see his work. So you don't even see a countdown, even if it's just 10 seconds. 10 seconds are so painful in a bullet hell with a timer. I haven't played in many bullet hell games in a while, but it is true. And I get bullet hell games, it's just so, like, full tension. It's like the tension is always, it's always there. Like the tension is like, it'll never end. It's just like avoiding these, like, these sprays of bullets just all over the place. And then on top of that, you have to pay attention to a life meter. That I can definitely understand. And besides, there are other ways to tell if you're doing damage. Like, for instance, like some bosses, they just change color. Like in Metroid, like in Super Metroid, they just change color. And the redder that they get, the more you know that they're almost dead. So you it's kind of like an invisible life bar, but you still don't know. You still got the tension there. So that is a good idea. I think it's a good idea. A reminder that I will be out in 2 weeks. I will be going to Anime Festival Orlando, AFO, and I figured out how to stream over there. I'm going to be using the StreamLabs application. I'm not going to be using the I'm not going to be using Twitch. Twitch doesn't work. It's really not that good. It's a shame because it's their platform, but I find it kind of ironic that Twitch is the platform that we have here, and yet Twitch themselves can't make streaming from their application work. It doesn't work. But StreamLabs you can, and I'm gonna test it, and that's where everybody tells me to go. So I hope to be done with Horizon Zero Dawn very soon. I'm going to be getting into the story a lot more deeper into the game. I hope that I could, finish. I want to do a little bit of a completionist run into it. And then hopefully I could get the game done soon, because I also want to do the Frozen Wilds DLC as well too. I'll make a new straw poll. The straw poll that I have is a bit old, so I'm going to make a new straw poll for what would be my next game that I will play. I don't know if it'll be like a PC game. I don't know if it'll be another PS4 game, because I've got so many games. And now I'm gonna also be getting a 3-month subscription to Xbox the Game Pass, because as I'll talk to you guys later, Xbox has a sale currently, and they have a really stupidly awesome 3 months for $10. So that ought to be enough time for you to just kind of test it out, play, and should be enough to convince you. It's like, look, it's a really good idea. You can, and during that time, I could play games like of Thieves and State of Decay 2, and any other Xbox, any other game that I haven't been able to play. So look forward to that. So that's also pretty cool. And at the end of the stream, I'm going to be taking suggestions. It's been several months since I started streaming, so I like to get your feedback. I know Saturday night gives me a ton of feedback, but for everybody else, I like to get like feedback on ideas, things that you like, things that you don't like. And of course, if you guys got any suggestions and you're following me on my Discord, you could go to the Stream Things channel and just post whatever you think I should improve in there as well too. Plus, we're also going to be talking about No Man's Sky at the end of the stream as well too. We'll talk about it, and it's sort of like a continuation of what we were talking about earlier as well too. So, with all that said, hopefully nothing with you know, with my mom is with stuff. I hope everything is okay. So but in the meantime, nothing looks as though. I like to hope things will be okay. So, but anyway, guys, let's start with the first. Hold on, let me. This is here. Okay, so this first story is about the Culling. Now, why am I showing you this? This is a death of a game known simply as the Culling. What is the Culling? Culling is a battle royale game. But it was a battle royale game that came out before PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, before Fortnite. There was a battle royale game that was early access, that was simply 16 players, and there was a heavy emphasis on combat with hands-on combat, throwing weapons at people. It was a pretty good game. The game was made by Xaviant. Xaviant is the people who made Lichdom Battle Mage. So they were the developers of that game. So they came up with the Culling. And the Culling grew into popularity. And a lot of what I'm saying is based upon this this video that was done by this video, which is from NerdSlayer. I wish you guys, I hope that you guys, by the end of this, will follow NerdSlayer, because he's done a lot of great videos. He's covered the topic of like death of a game from like APB, death of Visceral Games, the death of Lawbreakers, which is one of my favorites. This guy's a very, very talented YouTuber. It's very fun to watch. And the Culling was one of his recent ones from just 2 months ago. So, according to what NerdSlayer said, according to the history, this game was on early access, and it had a concurrent 12,000 players at the time, at peak. And during that time, it was even a game that was atop of the charts. It was a Steam chart topper. So, very popular game. and a lot of people liked it. And xSplit basically knew that their game was getting kind of popular, but then they started adding changes to the game. They started what I could only describe as nerfing combat. So it gets into a lot more detail in Nerd Slayer's video, but essentially what ended up happening was every time they change combat, the hand-to-hand combat was getting slower. The game was also a big deal about what it was. It was that hand-to-hand combat was very filled with tension, and it was supposed to be like very like tension-filled hand-to-hand combat. But basically, every time they made a change, they would make the combat last even longer, and it was getting worse. And then a year after the game was in early access, Culling went into ranked play, which was something that they wanted for a long time, because for the longest time, the Culling just stayed, oh, the worst players were playing against the really good players, so they were getting sick of getting killed by the good players, and the really good players were getting tired of killing the really bad players. So both ends of the spectrum were just kind of like, well, this is boring. So they added ranked play. And then what they did afterwards, instead of fixing the game, they actually ended up releasing it on Xbox One, and they kept on losing concurrent users. They kept on losing and losing and losing. So apparently xSplit moved on to another project. They didn't fix the game. They released the Xbox One game like with no buzz on it. They were just kind of just done with it. They didn't care about it at all, which led to them just kind of be like, okay, whatever, we'll just move on to the next game. A big thing that they didn't have also is that they didn't have in-game in-house testing. So they had no feedback. So they were just kind of going on their own, pretty much, with no feedback from anybody. So the reason why I'm mentioning all of this is because this goes hand in hand with what happened last week, when the Culling 2 came out and then peaked at 249 players. On day one, the most the Culling 2 could get was under 300 players, and it went all the way down to 2. It was either 2 or 4, but still the number is pathetic. So clearly this game is a failure. So what will this all lead to? What does all of this have to do with today? Well, the reason is because Josh Van Velde, who is the director of operations at xSplit, had this to say. And we're going to react and just show you the video from xSplit.
Hi there, I'm Josh Van Velde. I'm the director of operations here at xSplit. Today I'm going to be giving you an update about our studio and our projects. I think most of you know that last week we launched the Culling 2, and that launch was not successful.
I'd say that your launch was catastrophic. Say that it was not successful. It was kind of like a no-brainer.
It's been difficult for us to wrap our heads around the entire situation. It's been a lot to take in, but we've been having a lot of discussions. And one thing that has emerged very clearly for us is that the Culling 2 was not a game that you asked for, and it's not the game that you expect as a worthy successor to the Culling. So with that in mind, we've decided that the best course of action is to take that game down off of store shelves. So this week we'll be in contact with Valve, Sony, and Microsoft to close those stores and to make sure that those of you who bought the game get refunds. It's definitely been difficult to deal with the launch of the Culling 2, but it's been valuable for us in terms of making us look inward and look backward, and to see how we got here as a studio and as a team. We're bonded by the desire to move forward and make progress. And so we've been looking for ways forward. And what's been interesting is that the solutions that we've come up with are the same types of things that you suggested to us when we told you that we were in a tough spot and we were thinking about what to do next.
So basically, long story short, Xavier pulled the Culling 2. Essentially, what he goes on to say is basically that they're pulling it off every single store shelf, and that's pretty much it. It's about to get done. So the Culling 2 is not going to be on Steam. It's not going to be on PS4, and it's not going to be on Xbox One. Shows here, Josh Van Velde explains, and essentially what they ended up doing as well too, that they rolled back the Culling day one, the PS4, I'm sorry, not the PS4, the PC version of this game, where it all started, is going to get rolled back to how the game was. So a lot of what Xavier were getting asked by the fans, they're actually going to do it. So I think that this whole thing is very, very eye-opening for a lot of reasons, because as he points out, they've been getting suggestions from the fans for a while, and they were sort of kind of like in the rough spot. They kind of didn't know what to do, but the fans were giving them suggestions. They just kept on changing things kind of the way that they thought that they wanted to change it, but it just kept failing. As NerdSlayer documents, Culling just kept on getting further disconnected. So there's like, they have no idea, no direction. But at least, you know, Xavier realizes that they were wrong.
So I can announce right now that one of the things that we will do moving forward is to go back to the Culling day one. And I think that that's an area that we owe you an apology, because when we thought back to day one of the Culling and how we handled that launch, we realized that we changed too much too fast, and that there was something very unique and very special about the personality of that game that we were too eager to modify, to balance, to retune. And so we took a game that you guys loved and we changed it out from under you, and I want to apologize for that. I also want to apologize because when we got to the end of our early access run, you weren't happy with the state of the game. We weren't happy with our relationship with the community. We weren't happy with how you felt about the game. We weren't happy with the game ourselves, but we didn't see a path forward. So we turned it off and moved on to something else. And in retrospect, that was a mistake. What we see is that,
ladies and gentlemen, an American developer admitting fault and apologizing to the fans. Jessica Price could learn so much from Mr. Van Velde. We fucked up. We're gonna fix it. We admit that we didn't listen to you. You don't owe us anything, but we owe you a ton. See, that's how it's done. That's Jessica. That is how an adult faces up when he messes up. That's when an adult comes out and goes, hey, you know what? We screwed the pooch. We are here at Xavier. We messed up. We gave up on the game. We changed the game from what you guys loved. And we're sorry. And we're going to fix this. Good job.
There's tremendous value in the day one build of the Culling, and you've been asking for it, and it's been hard for us to accept that that's something that we need to put the work into to get to you, but we've decided it's time. So I can announce that as of this week, the culling in its day one form, and by that I mean literally the build that we launched back in March of 2016, is coming to our test servers. So if you're a PC player who already owns the game, you're going to have the opportunity to download for free the Culling Day 1. You can play that game, you can check it out, you can experience it again. And we've played it as a team, and it's been a really wonderful experience. We've gotten to get to know the game in its original form again, and I can tell you it's a lot of fun, and we're excited to give it to you.
So it seems as though the main problem was that they wanted to change the game, but they weren't really 100% sure what they wanted to change, and they didn't realize how special it was until after the changes were being made and after Xavier gave up on it. So it's kind of refreshing to see that, you know, you as a developer, you make a game, and people tell you how good this game is, and then all of a sudden you realize how special, you realize, whoa, this is what people see. This is why people love our game. Very
special.
The
other part of our announcement is that we're putting the culling back into development. And the culling in its day one form is going to remain on the test servers for as long as the game's in development, to serve as a reference point for all of us to look back to. Our immediate goal for the culling in terms of our first update is to take the October 2017 build that's live right now and to modify it so that every aspect of the gameplay matches the day one build. That means all the perks are coming back, all the airdrops are coming back, combat goes back to its day one form. Literally every aspect of the gameplay will be what you remember. And that's going to be our platform moving forward.
You see that? If you guys haven't heard this in a while, this is what giving your fans what they want sounds like. Incorporate the stuff that you've brought in the later parts of the game, but leave the stuff the fans want in there. You see, that's how you build the trust back. It's gonna be weird because later we're gonna be talking about Hello Games, but this is what you admit that you screwed up, you apologize, and then you make it right. Not with words, but with action.
Some of you are going to be skeptical that we're going to be able to do it right this time, but I can tell you we learned a great deal from having the culling in development and from working on the sequel. And we're ready to apply those lessons to
nothing like failure to give you some humble pie for sure.
Process. We also know that we need an audience to come with this game. I think a lot of you are going to come back, but we need new blood as well. And to that end, I'm announcing that we're putting the culling into free-to-play when...
Okay, you want my blood? Take my blood. Come on, man, take my blood. Come on, man, take the shot. Any chance I get to quote the negotiator, I'm going to quote it.
We launched that update. So we think that that'll be a new opportunity for the game to thrive.
Free to play.
I think one of the unexpected things that we learned over the course of the past week is how much love so many of you still have for the culling, and the fact that so many of you were holding out hope that we would give you what you were looking for. And I think that with this day one build and this new focus on taking the culling back to day one and starting on a fresh foot in a free-to-play mode, I think that we're going to be able to give you what you're looking for. We certainly can't do it without you. We need you to trust us, and we know that that trust needs to be earned one step at a time. We hope that these first couple of steps are going to be clearly the right move, and we look forward to working with you and finding out where the culling is going in the future. So the day one servers will be coming this week, and we'll have more news to share soon about our plans. So I want to thank you for your time, and from everybody here at Xavient, we're looking forward to working on the culling again.
Okay, Xavient, good job. This is a first good step. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The culling not only is it going to be brought back to day one, but it's going to go heavily added the stuff that they added, but it's going to maintain the stuff the fans wanted, and it's going free to play. And that is a very, very good way to get people's trusts back. And it's also a good way to get back into the game. Now, obviously, it's going to be difficult because they have two major problems. One, they have the problem of gaining the trust back from the people. And also, at the same time, getting back this whole thing back onto, you know, to get more people to join into the culling. But making it free to play shouldn't be a problem. I think that's going to be bringing a lot of people to this game. Number two is the competition, because there is competition. The two main monsters, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds and Fortnite, especially Fortnite, Darwin Project, the other games that are coming out that have battle royale games modes in them, Realms Royale. There is so much battle royale, but the thing is that I think Xaviant has the advantage of is that Xaviant were the first ones in this. So I think Xaviant has a good opportunity here. And there's a lesson to be learned, and the reason why I made this the lead story is because most of the time, whenever I talk about the lead story, it's usually maddening, usually depressing. It's usually like, here's the game industry screwing over the people that love them and that love their games. And here is Xaviant that they came in and they were like, you know what? I think we don't know what to do with this game. Screw it. We don't know what we're going to do with this game. And they just threw their hands in the air and they were like, okay, well, let's just release the Culling 2. Well, guess what? What happened with the Culling 2? The Culling was a flop. Culling 2 was just, it never even got to a point where it was like a chance to grow. They made the Culling 2 to the point where it resembles like a worse version of Radical Heights. They moved away. They clearly didn't know what they were doing. They were just floundering in the wind, like with blinders in their eyes. They didn't know what they were doing. And the worst part is that they did have a game that they knew it was gold. They knew it was special. No, they didn't know it was special. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, they paid the price. Now, I don't know if Xaviant will be able to bounce back, but you know what? You rarely ever hear a story of a developer admit they're wrong. They're always blaming social media. They're always blaming the haters. They're always blaming, like Randy Pitchford. He always, when his games fail, it's never his fault. It's never his studio's fault. It's never Gearbox's fault. It's just, oh no, it's the haters. Oh no, it's some other department. Oh no, it's just people that were looking for reasons to be mad. I mean, no. Sometimes you just royally screwed up. Like, heck, even EA. No, I'm sorry, DICE, because EA will never admit they're wrong, but even DICE came out to acknowledge that the game Battlefront 2 did not come out the way that they had hoped for, which is the hugest understatement of this year. the fact that they came out with the statement at all was just shocking. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, that alone definitely did it. Sometimes I'm asking myself, why would game developer even dare to develop a game without keeping in mind on how to make the game interesting for the players and how the game could be fun for the players. Well, you see, that is actually error 101 when it comes to game development. I think, and I've read game developer articles, Gamma Sutra articles, I've read books on game development, and a big mistake that game developers do is that they make the games that they would play. But they don't keep into consideration if it's a game that others would play. So first and foremost, when you make a game because you want to sell it to somebody. So obviously the people who are buying the game from you will want to like it. And I ask myself that as well too. Why would the developer just move on? I mean, why would Bluehole move on to release PUBG on the Xbox when they haven't optimized it for PC? Why would the Culling's developer Xavier do that? Well, the answer is that they weren't thinking about the fans. They weren't thinking about the community. They weren't thinking at all. Why would a game writer go out and bash your fan base because of an opinion? And the reason is because some people just don't care about the community. They really don't. And it is a shame. And I think that has led to an outcry for people to be like, well, you don't care about the game fans or the people that gave you the money. Well, then we're just never going to give you money ever again. At least Xavier realizes that, and they're moving on. And I wish them the best of luck. I honestly, this is a feel-good story. So, which makes it kind of heartbreaking, which we're going to talk about that. There is an update, however, but the original story was that Saudi Arabia has banned 47 games following the deaths of two kids. So basically, this is what happened. There was this game, I don't know if you've heard about it. It's called Blue Whale. It's something that's called the Blue Whale Challenge. And when I did a little search on it, this is what came up with. And I'll read you what Wikipedia says. Okay, so it's Blue Whale, also known as the Blue Whale Challenge, is a social network phenomenon dating from 2016 that is claimed to exist in several countries despite no cases having it being confirmed. It is a game reportedly consisting of a series of tests assigned to players by administrators over a 50-day period, initially innocuous before introducing elements of self-harm, and the final challenge requiring players commit suicide. Blue Whale first attracted news coverage in May 2016 when an article in a Russian newspaper, Novaya Gazeta, that linked many unrelated child suicides to membership of group F57 on the Russian-based VKontakte social network. A wave of moral panic swept Russia. However, the piece was later criticized for attempting to make a casual link where none existed, and none of the suicides was found to be the result of group activities. And that isn't the first time that this happens. Now, so what happened was, according to the report, at least before this update, that there were two Saudi Arabian kids that apparently they ended up dying, and it was a 13-year-old girl and a 12-year-old boy. And apparently they took their own life because of this Blue Whale game challenge. So what ended up happening was the Saudi General's Commission for Audiovisual Media ended up banning 47 games. Because apparently, while there isn't like a link about what happened, yeah. So basically, because the challenge, now the reason they're not blaming video games per se. Apparently, because it was an online game, this thing was an online game, that's basically it. That's the only element that they had. That this whole thing was online, therefore video games must have caused this, will likely cause this. But they did participate in an online game. But the reason is that they're saying is that the commission cited unspecified violations of rules and regulations. Now, this came off of the suicides, but it doesn't make a lot of sense because there isn't a correlation with video games, the suicides, or even Blue Whale. There isn't proof that Blue Whale was the reason that they killed themselves. I mean, it could very well have been, but they just kind of shoved video games in there. Now, here is the list: Agents of Mayhem, Assassin's Creed 2, Attack on Titan 2, Bayonetta 2, Clash of Titans, Dante's Inferno, Dead Rising 3 Apocalypse Edition, Deadpool, Deception 4 The Nightmare Process, Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Well, Saturday night, the thing is that they'll find Blue Whale and they could just lie about their age. So they could still get it. It's not unheard of. You could lie and get yourself into that online. But anyway, yeah, it goes on. Dragon's Dogma, Final Fantasy Dissidia, the God of War games from the PlayStation 2 and 3, Grand Theft Auto 5, the most evil game in the universe, of course, Heavy Rain, Life is Strange, Mafia 2 and 3, Okami for some reason got banned, Resident Evil 5 and 6. Do you see a problem? Do you see a problem with this list? Let's see. What's the problem? Do you see a problem? Oh, One Piece. Oh, I noticed that too. Okay, so here's the thing. Why are they banning some of these games? So, okay, so for example, they ban Watch Dogs, but they don't ban Watch Dogs 2. They ban Street Fighter 5 and the 30th anniversary, but they don't ban all the other games. They ban Resident Evil 5 and 6, but they don't ban 1 through 4. Yokai Watch. Yes, Yokai Watch. They ban Yokai Watch. They ban Prison Architect, which is a game about you simulating running a prison. They banned Okami, which we all can agree is a rage-inducing game, but it's not a game that links to suicide or violence. They banned Grand Theft Auto 5, but they didn't ban any of the other Grand Theft Auto games. They banned God of Wars 1 through 3, but they don't ban the God of War Ascension game. They don't ban the new God of War game. They banned Dragon Age Inquisition, but they didn't ban any of the other Dragon Age games. They banned DMC Devil May Cry Definitive Edition, but they don't ban any of the other Devil May Cry games. They banned Dead Rising 3, but none of the other games. This is all kind of weird. The only Assassin's Creed game they banned was the second one, but they didn't ban the one that was in Egypt, the one that was in London, the one that was in the wild. I mean, there are a billion Assassin's Creed games, and they didn't ban them, which I find that very, very weird. Now, yeah, Bayonetta 2 got banned, but they didn't ban the first one. They banned Saints Row 4, but they didn't ban any of the other Saints Row games. They banned Metro, but they didn't ban any of the other Metro games. They banned the 2002 Hitman game, but they didn't ban the new one. They didn't ban the first one. They banned Heavy Rain, but they didn't ban Detroit Become Human. They didn't ban Fahrenheit. they didn't ban this list is so bizarre. And you also see stuff like the Saboteur. This game is sort of out of nowhere. The Saboteur is just what? Oh, Mr. Gabe. Mr. Gabe. They banned Vampire. How's it going, Mr. Gabe? Doing good? Oh, they didn't ban Cup Kaizo, but they didn't even ban Cuphead. They banned Clash of the Titans, which I think it's a movie tie-in game, which is weird. They also banned the Deadpool game. They banned Deus Ex Mankind Divided, but they didn't ban any of the other Deus Ex games. So this seems very, very weird, right? There's no connections to them, but apparently I just found this out just now. Yeah, Clash of the Titans. Yeah, I know. And apparently, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It has come to our attention that this news story contains inaccuracies as multiple people working in the Saudi Arabian's region's games industry and with the Saudi General Commission for Audiovisual Media have now stated that no such action in regards to the game has been taken. I just found this out moments before going out, and apparently this is the record. So let's see. Okay. Earlier this week, an Associated Press report claimed that the Saudi Arabian government banned 47 games following allegations that 2 children were driven to kill themselves. It has since come to light that the news story was almost entirely false. Oh, for fuck's sake. Are you... Oh, why? Currently... Although the games in question are indeed restricted from sale in the region, they were not banned collectively at the same time and not in response to the alleged suicides. Currently, the ban of games has been quite rare because GCAM and other Middle East ratings boards like National Media Council in the United Arab Emirates, you actually work hand in hand with the game publishers either directly or via their official distributors. For example, in the case of The Witcher 3, which I started working on its localization, the game was localized in Arabic with subtitles in language, but also reducing the nudity and removing other cultural topics from the game that could be problematic. Malek Tafaha, the head of the localization of Ubisoft in the Middle East and North Africa, added that GCAM is actually expressing more leniency in recent years, even unbanning previously censored games. Ubisoft has not had any game ban in the past 5 years outside of Watch Dogs 2 and South Park, which is a statement to GCAM's improving nature. Far Cry 3 and 4 were previously banned, but we got them reversed, and after Watch Dogs 2, we have actively worked to make sure our releases are per the guidelines, which is reflected in the fact that we had no banning ever since Watch Dogs 2. South Park, we elected not to release it for various known reasons. Okay. All right. Okay. So I had this really cool, I kind of feel foolish because I was getting ready to rip Saudi Arabia to shreds, but apparently Saudi Arabia is not banning the games. Kind of weird that GameIndustry.biz reported on this story originally. Associated Press. How could they have run this? How done this? And it paints Saudi Arabia as it's already bad enough, but I was ready to do that. I was actually ready to do that. But as it turns out, Saudi Arabia is actually quite lenient. Yes, there are game bans, but it's not nearly as bad as it's meant to be. it's meant to be more like they don't want to offend their culture, which is something that every video game developer does to localize their games, like they did with The Witcher 3. Obviously, Germany has a lot of stuff like that. Neck has told me stuff about how the games have been localized and made it so that it doesn't depict Nazis, even though that's what they are. I was kind of getting ready to do that, but that's what happens. That's the price you pay. But it's good that Game Rant updated and has since then reported that it is false. I do think the banning of video games is still pretty stupid. I do think that video games do not cause the harm that people think that they do. I do realize that game developers want and publishers want to accept people's cultures, but I still find it kind of ridiculous that people think that video games cause so much harm, and they don't. They really don't. Yeah, you get offended with what the game has, but you know what? Another solution would be just not to buy the game. But the thing is that publishers and developers want to make money, especially publishers, especially the shareholders. So you got to localize these games so that you could expand to the market. And if that means that if you're in Saudi Arabia, if you're a 13-year-old boy, you don't get to see Yennefer's tits, which is sad. You almost got a chance to see Yennefer's boobage. The Witcher 3 little Saudi Arabian boy. But they want to do it because they respect your culture and they don't want to offend anybody and cause them to be labeled as anything that would lead them to get like that's shitheads. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. I was getting ready to go on a rant, but the rant has got to be cut short and it turned into a feel-good story again. So I am sad that the kids eventually ended up killing themselves, but no links to Blue Whale either. So sorry. Sorry about this. But here's another feels good story from Germany. As Germany has officially banned pre-orders for games with no release dates. Germany, you guys are doing good. You guys are doing good. So what is the explanation according to VGR? So what is this supposed to be? Okay, so in 2016, there was a consumer protection claim that was made against a retailer. Media Market, markets without the E in market. So apparently there was an issue over a Samsung Galaxy XS6. What they think GTA 5 turns kids into sociopaths. What actually happens, GTA 5 turns kids into people who steal their mom's credit cards. Either way, it's bad. So well, you know what, they put the shark cards in, they made the game highly monetizable. I still think it's the parents' responsibilities to, you know, keep their kids reined in, but what the parents actually do instead is no, it's not our responsibility, it's your responsibility. Take Two, you guys have to show our kids how not to kill people. Rockstar, you guys do it. Okay, it's bad, but so yes, ladies and gentlemen, there was a ruling that was done that apparently because of a case that went against this retailer, apparently nothing can be pre-ordered without a release date. And apparently this doesn't apply everywhere. It's only in Germany. So Germany, you can't pre-order anything that doesn't have an official release date. Coming soon, to be determined when the game is done. All of these things are now a part now. At first it used to be electronics and stuff like that, but now anything that does have a pre-ordered You cannot. It's not allowed. It's banned. So any game that doesn't have a release date, it's not allowed to be pre-ordered. So as you can see, it gives you the example of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Well, guess what? This game is probably never going to come out, so you can't pre-order this game in Germany. And this is, let me see, because there's a quote for the CEO of Düsseldorf Consumer, Wolfgang Schulzinski. Wolfgang Schulzinski. When consumer order goods on the internet, providers must specify by when the goods are to be delivered. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in Germany, if you're in Germany, that means that you as a game developer cannot offer a vague to no release date at all. Pre-orders are already bad. I can't pre-order the horribly oh, are you talking about this? Yeah. This was added because you can pre-order Metroid Prime 4 anywhere, but you can't pre-order it in on Germany because this game doesn't have a release date yet. So you can't pre-order Metroid Prime 4. You can't pre-order Death Stranding. You can't pre-order any game because you can't pre-order anything. There is no way. I don't mind that rule at all. I actually love this because pre-order culture has gotten to the point where it's been harmful to the gaming industry. And you know what? If you don't have a game ready to get released, you shouldn't be asking people to give you money ahead of time. That's not how it works, guys. You have to get the game and then you give money to the people. Then from there. My problem with some pre-orders in Germany, you can't cancel them even if there's no certain release. You can't cancel pre-orders? What? You can't cancel a pre-order? Why not? That is Germany. Germany. No. 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 But why? What's the factor? What's the reason that you can't cancel the pre-order? You gave them money. You still don't have the product. There shouldn't be a problem with that. Hell, even the most evil company in the world, GameStop, lets you cancel your pre-orders. That is not a problem here. So Germany is fine with... Okay, so Germany's fine with banning pre-orders that don't have a conclusive date, but they won't let you cancel pre-orders that were already being made for reasons. Come on. Oh, Germany, what are we going to do with you? What are we going to do with Germany? I do love Rammstein, so Germany did give us that. And they gave us polka music as well too, so thank you. But actually, I like this. A pre-order culture is bad. It mainly just focuses on making money as the quickest way possible, and they also and the government as stupid and strange. Saturday Night says. Well, I mean, it's the same government that doesn't want to depict Nazism in Wolfenstein games, which, to be fair, I don't think that Germany wants people to that badly about them. But honestly, you know, when you get a video game and you put Nazis in the game, it's not, you're not celebrating the fact that Nazis were a thing. You're using that as a form of storytelling. And it's like Pete Hines says, no, the goal isn't to send a political message. The goal is to kill Nazis because fuck Nazis. That's the gist. But banning pre-orders in Germany that don't have a release date just goes to show you that there are countries in the world that do not tolerate when a publisher announces a game and literally the day it announces, it's asking people to give them money. Promises, a pre-order promise, because that's what it is. It's a promise that you're gonna get all of this content. I mean, pre-orders are a way that's stripping away content from the game. There are games, the only good thing about them is there is some kind of status quo in the politics as a whole. We get nothing done, but we don't worsen it any further than it already is. So basically, wow. Mr. Jacko! Oh, Becky's nothing but a gold digger. She's just going after broke niggas. Oh, man. Becky, behave. Now behave now. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you live in Germany, you cannot pre-order a game if it doesn't have a release date on it. So to be determined when it's done, you still oh, Becky, we need to get you to rehab. And then Becky goes, I'm not a time to rehab. And I'll say, no. Greetings from the chicken from his dragon's girlfriend's house. Oh. Well, Mr. Neck, hello. I'm actually kind of glad that this is a thing. Kind of cuts pre-order down a peg. I do like that. Greetings from the you need to get your act together, Jocko. Come on, man. We need you sober. Becky's coffee shop cannot run without you. So, ladies and gentlemen, next is we have another story where we see Anthem taking another piece of Bioware away from us. And that is that apparently the game Anthem will not have a dialogue wheel, but some choices. Okay, well, Mark Dara. Uh-oh, is that Becky? What up, baby girl? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we know that there isn't going to be any romance options in Anthem, so we don't get to see character development like we saw in past BioWare games. But Mark Dara, who is the executive producer of Anthem, reiterated about the dialogue options inside of the game. Basically, he reiterated that while we have had the option to put dialogue wheels in our games, this game is not going to have them. Brought up to their Twitter, and it says that there will be no dialogue wheel, but there will be some dialogue options. Now, the problem with that is that here's the essential thing. This is essentially what the problem is. There are plenty of people who praise the amount of player choice regarding dialogue in games, who may be disappointed to learn that the same will be available in Anthem. However, a more limited dialogue option is arguably the only option for Anthem. While Dragon Age games could afford to allow the player to heavily influence the world because they are single-player experiences, Anthem's share world somewhat restricts that feature. Now, the problem with Anthem is that they're promising years worth of story. So you're getting games as a service. You're getting games where you're not going to get a main storyline in the game. You're going to get a game that's going to be supported for years. So essentially, you're just getting your content slowly pushed to you, which worked really great for Sea of Thieves, by the way. Now, if Anthem comes out strong and swinging and they don't have, like, say, you know, they don't cut the content short, then it should be fine to keep you going for a while. But the fact that you're not getting a lot of development in terms of the story, it's not a single player game, but you will be able to do your stuff. You don't have the romance options, you don't have a dialogue wheel. It almost doesn't even feel like it's a BioWare game anymore. It doesn't feel like a BioWare game at this point. It just feels like this is the answer to Destiny 2 or The Division. Because The Division is now a good game. It didn't used to be a good game, but it's now a good game. Yeah, unfortunately, I found out a few days ago that the dialogue wheel is trademarked by EA. Oh, fuck you, EA! Oh, go fuck yourself, EA. The dialogue wheel belongs to Electronic Arts. God, that is so awful. Oh, good. Okay, so you could have a dialogue wheel, but I mean, what is it? Do they? Okay, so is the trademark that it's called the dialogue wheel is what they own? Or is the act of having a dialogue wheel in your game is what they own? Because I don't think that you can own a concept, an idea. Well, you can own an idea. You could trademark an idea. But if you make another thing similar to it, I mean, that just goes back to like the reaction fiasco from they own the circle wheel. Not anything else. Oh, okay. Oh, goody. That's good news. Well, I think the only thing that's left to say about this is that there's no word on how stripped down the dialogue options are. But honestly, the fact that they're taking this part out of Anthem just means that there's another piece of this game that is not a BioWare game. Like I was saying before, The Division is a good game now. Destiny, it's just floundering in the ether somewhere. But even Destiny is now 2 is starting to become Destiny 1 again. But my point is, ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. My point is that the more that I hear about Anthem, the less excited I am. The game is online in nature, so clearly you can't make a concrete story as like single player oriented. You want to make a game where it's got a setting, but everyone who you team up with and play online is also involved in this game. I would like it to be maybe something along the lines of Borderlands, which you could play with multiple people and still follow the same story. But apparently we can't have that. So instead, what EA wants Anthem to be is a game that gets people to come back constantly. They want you in that game for years. They want you to buy their shit. They want you to keep on investing. But they also want you to pay $60 for it. So honestly, the fact that there is so many things about this game that are no longer relating or even resemble a BioWare game is kind of terrible. But also it's just because it's making Anthem kind of look like a generic game. Kind of makes it feel like there's nothing really special about Anthem. Now, I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. Anthem might end up being the greatest game ever released, but it doesn't feel like that right now at the moment. It doesn't really feel like Anthem is getting stripped down even more and more, and it feels pretty bad. It feels pretty bad. But again, I am going to give this game the benefit of the doubt. This game could end up being the most amazing game ever as well. So I'm not completely given up on Anthem, even though it feels like a lot of people. let's just strip down Becky more and more instead of Anthem. I concur. Becky wants that anyway. You know, nobody wants Anthem to be short of features. But Becky, she's a free spirit. She's a free bird. She's like flies around, goes around, and she looks at places, and then just like, okay, bitches, I'm here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this hard. This shit's lit because Becky's here. But unlike Becky, I would like Anthem. I would like Anthem to just be a good game, a really good game. Do you like beat 'em up games? Koei. You mean like the Dynasty Warrior games? I do like beat 'em ups. Man, I used to play beat 'em ups all the time. I used to play Final Fight. I used to play. I never owned a Genesis, so I never owned Streets of Rage. Tecmo Koei does. I do like games like the Dynasty Warrior games. I do want Hyrule Warriors when I get my my Nintendo Switch. So I do want that. Hyrule Warriors, made by Tecmo Koei. Oh, please give. Oh, see, this is the good thing about someone that makes modding for games. They got good facts here. Oh yes, shoot me the fact. Here's what's the fun fact? Oh, I can't wait. But in the meantime, we're gonna move to the next. Oh, hold on. Of the day you might like. No, I can't keep buying shit from Amazon. Really? Koei Tecmo has trademark beat 'em up games. That is interesting indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, does your Switch have a crack in it? You have a feeling that your Switch may be crumbling upon you? Well, if so, you're not alone. Why do you think they just disappeared from the face of the earth? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is. Oh my God, they don't have pumpkin spice latte here at the police station. Luckily, I managed to seduce an officer to get the Wi-Fi code. Hey, Becky, no. No, 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 no. Do not. No, no, no. You behave yourself. You're to be in the police station. No, no, no. Do not. No. You're going to get in trouble. Look, I'm sure that the police officer. Go. No. No. Becky, no. Wi-Fi Coke sounds really bad too. So anyway, oh, Jocko, thank you. She needs time to think. She needs time to reassess herself because we don't like this, Becky. So, so back to what I was saying before Becky decided to interrupt the stream. Essentially, a couple of people have been reporting that the backside of their Switch was apparently getting cracks. And apparently this is where the majority of it's like the top right section where the power button is. And this is also where the exhaust is as well too. So there was a site that was called Nintendo Life. And Nintendo Life conducted a poll. And they asked about almost 1,200 people, about 1,189 people, users. And about 1 out of 5 of those reported that their Switch experienced a hardware crack issue. Now, the prediction, the theory is that because this is where the heat exhaust is, it causes the this to expand, which of course will cause this to warp and will crack if it expands and contracts and constantly expanding and expanding, and that will cause that to happen. Now, apparently Nintendo is, according to this, is aware of this, because it looks like the latest iteration of the Nintendo Switch might have actually addressed this. Now, it says here, just noticed my Switch has multiple cracks along the top edge of the console. I don't treat it harshly, so I am not sure where these have come from. Is this a weak point of design? Then later it shows, I'm going to show you the tweet. And show you the tweet. See, this is the part where the exhaust is. Yeah, there are the cracks. You see them? There are the cracks. I was almost like I couldn't tell what they were, but there they are. This is where the exhaust is, and boom. Oh, yay! Oh, and it doesn't stop there with the trademarks. You know the system of insanity for horror games? Where's the more insanity you get, the more stuff you start to see? Yes, I remember that was, oh my god, the insanity meter. Yeah, I remember that Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem was the first game that I played. Yes, that's, oh my god, I was afraid you were gonna say that because of the GameCube game, because of the Silicon Knights game. It's one of my favorite games of all time, by the way. Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem, which you should add to your GameCube emulator, because that is one of the best horror games ever. TM. Wow, so they are trademarked. Wow. That is fascinating. Wow. Holy shit. So you're saying that Amnesia had to go to Nintendo and ask them to use that system? That's interesting. And of course, here's a little warp here down below here. You could barely tell it, but apparently it's there. So here's the thing. So apparently this is a known problem. However, Nintendo won't admit this as a problem with the system. Now, if you remember, Nintendo quickly came and they fixed the issue with one of the Joy-Cons, and one responding, well, PC games are out of these trademarks because for some reason they are immune. Interesting. That is interesting. Probably is because you can't own somebody's idea. You can own the concept, you can own the term. Like, for instance, like LucasArts, like Lucasfilms owns the trademark of droid, right? But that doesn't mean you can't have robots in your movie. You just can't call them droids. That's it. So it's like you can have a game that's got an insanity system. You just can't call it an insanity meter or whatever. It's a weird gray area. I don't know enough about trademark law. We have to talk to a lawyer to understand all of this. But ladies and gentlemen, but back to what we were saying, Nintendo will fix your console, but you have to pay for it. Now, if you remember, there was an issue with the left Joy-Con, which was losing sync, and they actually admitted that it was a flaw. And the later Switches have been releasing with the updated left Joy-Cons, and guess what? They have replaced the Joy-Cons for no cost. But Nintendo won't replace your Wii, why do I keep calling it the Wii? Your Switch. Nintendo will not replace it for you. I don't know why. You could send it to get it repaired for $172 to $230. So to fix cracks on a flaw that their console has, you still have to pay half of what you paid to get the console, repair it. Nope. Why won't Nintendo fix this? I don't know why. My theory. Okay, I'm gonna finish with this one. Do you know the loading games? You know, like mini games while the main game is loading, so you can pass time. Yes. Well, I haven't seen those in a while. Yes, but I remember those. Those are pretty cool. Nintendo, I don't think they would do this because it costs a lot more to to replace the console than it is a Joy-Con. And it's weird because the Joy-Con is actually so state-of-the-art that it's weird that you just, I mean, they're perfectly fine with replacing it, but I guess it costs more to repair, or less or more time to fix the outer casing of a Switch than it is to just fixing the Joy-Con. Bandai Namco trademarked that, but it has since expired, like at the beginning of 2018. Oh, so this has a happy ending then. Those are very, very, very interesting. Man, I need more game facts. I need to read more Gamma Sutra. I need to read more games, more books about game development. Oh, by the way, guys, I actually at one point wanted to make games. So my dad, he bought me a kit where I can like make games when Electronic Boutique was there, and it came with this book, Game Design, Secret of the Sages, Brady Games. This is like a guide to how to make like video games. This is more like how in the game development industry you like learn how to look at things, like for example talking about tools, talking about knowing your limitations, talking about understanding shapes when you're making like games, getting in the door. And this is a very, very old, I mean, this is late 90s. So this is the second edition. So there is a, I don't know if they've made another. It's actually kind of torn because I tore it when I took it to college one time to read. And it's even got a Borders bookmark. This is insane. I've actually never finished reading this book, and it's a shame. But it's got like a ton of people. It's a little old now, so I wish they would make it again. So but anyway. But I wanted to show you guys that because I was kind of thinking about like developers as well too. So, and it also fits in pretty good with our next story, which is Konami taking down a PT Silent Hills remake done by a fan. So Konami apparently doesn't want people to like them. Apparently. Now this story has both a good and a bad side to it. The bad side, I'll just get over it really quickly. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, PT was a demo that came out on the PlayStation, and it was supposed to be like this really interesting game concept, but then eventually if you solved the PT, it was basically a reveal that it was like a teaser for Silent Hills. The next Silent Hill game, which was the one that was Hideo Kojima, that was actually Norman Reedus was going to be a part of. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's no longer the case. PT got taken off the store after Silent Hills got canceled because fuck Konami. And then, so people who don't have PT, they can't get it back. So there was actually a bunch of people who have worked on remakes. So one of the more notable ones, done by a PC creator known only as Kimsar, was contacted by Konami because PT for the PC had to get taken down. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Konami reached out, told them to take down that demo, that game, because apparently they don't want anybody to know that PT ever existed. But this is where things kind of take a turn for not so bad, because here's what happened. Okay, so apparently the rep that contacted Kimzar was apparently let me I didn't notate this down, so hold on. It was a Konami representative. It was a Konami rep. Okay, so got in contact with him, and basically the developers, Konami actually, according to the representative, Konami saw the remake that this kid did, and apparently Konami offered him, they gave him game merch, they gave him video games, and they offered him an internship to Konami. Konami Europe, Konami US, and Konami Japan. And we all know how great Konami Japan is and all their changes, you know, venting away from video games and doing mobile only games because they want to cash in on microtransactions, don't care about video games anymore. But according to this Konami rep, this developer, which by the way, he's 17 years old and he's not even graduated high school, apparently inspired Konami to make legitimate games again, which according to what Konami rep told the kid was that the PT remake inspired him to get back into making games instead of, you know, making pachinko and pachi slots and mobile games, which seems to be their focus now. And essentially, they're actually so impressed with this kid's work that they, you know, they're offering him a chance to become a game developer in one of the worst companies in the world. The world, ladies and gentlemen, not Europe, not Japan, the world. Konami is one of the worst companies in the world. So, first off, dick move for taking down his game. Also, there are a ton of other PT remakes apparently that haven't been taken down. I guess the reason was because Kimzar's one was the one that looked the most legit, like it was like it could very well be PT. And I guess Konami was like, wait a minute, somebody's distributing our product. But apparently 17 years old, clearly read Game Design Secret of the Sages 2nd edition, released in 1997, 1999. He must have read this from cover to top. They've added more interviews. I want the latest edition. Where's Contra? Good question. It's in the same place that Metal Gear and Castlevania is. In the gutter. Oh, actually, you know what? I think Konami might have made... Oh, yes, they were. They were like a fine wine. Good music. Great music. Oh, and also great shows on... Oh, Saved by the Bell was my jam. Family Matters. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so back to Konami. Well, you could probably find a Contra game. Here's how you find a Contra game, a new Contra game. Do you want to know where you could find a new Contra game? Go to Japan and visit your local pachi slot place. Go find the pachinko parlor. Go find yourself any major pachinko parlor that's not run by the Yakuza, and then just look around for a little bit and you will find a Silent Hill patchy slot, a Castlevania patchy slot, and most not doubtedly you will find a Contra patchy slot. So that's where your Konami game is, your Contra game is. Ladies and gentlemen, Kimzar. I'm going to give you some advice. Not take up Konami's offer. Konami is a horrible company. Konami screwed Hideo Kojima, punished people that disagreed with the head bosses, and got transferred to work at Konami's fitness and spa centers, demoted to just making patchy slot machines, monitor them constantly, berate them whenever they messed up or arrived late, disconnected Hideo Kojima from his team during the near end of development, prohibited him from accepting a game award. I mean, Konami's not a game development company. It's a gulag. It's a dungeon. You don't want to work at a dungeon, do you, Kim? So you don't want your God-given coding skills, your lead hack skills, to be wasted. You don't want to end up as miserable as Hideo Kojima was at the end of his time at Konami, do you? No. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, no. Nope. No, Kimzar, no. Do not do it. Your talent should not get wasted. And guess what? Getting offered an internship is great. But honestly, you probably don't want to do it with Konami. They're not a game development company anymore. They're just making shovelware and gambling slot machines. They are not who they think it is. They are. Okay, so where's my 8-way aiming, shooting, spread, shoot, alien shooting soldier game? The world. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting a Metal Gear Solid movie sometime down the road. And this movie's director wants to make a Metroid movie. As the director of the soon-to-be adapted to screen Metal Gear Solid, Jordan Vogt Roberts says he wants to make a Metroid movie. Now, he said that the character would be on her own. She'd be the only protagonist in the movie. And there will be long stretches of silence. Now, he says that if you get Samus involved with other characters, that it kind of destroys everything a Metroid game is. And guess what? He's absolutely right. Play Other M. Metroid Other M. I dare you to play that game and not cringe as hard as I did when I played that game. I dare you. Go ahead. Play Metroid play Metroid Other M, and you will understand Jordan Vogt Roberts' point perfectly. Now, he said that he wanted something similar to Drive. If any of you seen Drive, it's a Nicholas Winding Refn movie. That's the one where Ryan Gosling, he plays the nameless driver, and he's like there's patches of the movie where it's silent, and this is kind of like a mood piece. They call it a mood piece. It's a very art housey movie, but it's a pretty good movie though. Well, that's kind of what he wants to go for, but mixing in the science fiction elements as well. And the reason he wants to do this is because when you put Samus in a situation where we've not come to see her in, we are not seeing a Metroid movie anymore. We are seeing a Metroid adaptation. Oh, there's a difference. But he's very, very he kind of figures that this is not going to happen. And the reason is because to make a movie a blockbuster, this is too much of a risk for Hollywood to just give him money, like a studio to give him money to make a big budgeted movie where there's only one person in the movie. I mean, never mind that you did that with Castaway, and that movie's good. Yes, you had interactions with people, and then Tom Hanks goes to the island, ends up in the island, and the movie is just there. So it has worked. The fact that you could get one woman actress to play Samus Aran and put her in the Metroid suit and put her in her, like, not the Metroid suit, her Varia suit, and then just have her just traverse an empty Zebes planet, and you just have her just explore the planet. I don't think, tonally, I think the movie might not be as exciting as you'd like a movie to be, but think of how suspenseful that movie would be. If it's like the games, it would be a pretty tension-filled experience. But Mr. Vogt Roberts says that I don't think that anybody would let him do that kind of movie. And Nintendo doesn't have the best track record. Nintendo was the thing that started this whole thing. The movie Super Mario Brothers was greenlit thanks to them, and Nintendo hasn't had a movie since. They have had characters of their games show up, like in Wreck-It Ralph. I think Ready Player One had a bunch of stuff like that. But honestly, ladies and gentlemen, that's not them making a video game movie. That's just them using their characters. So honestly, I don't think that would happen on Nintendo's watch. And also, the fact that almost all of video game based movies are all bad, horrible, stupid, like the Silent Hill movies, the Resident Evil movies, Far Cry, Dungeon Siege, House of the Dead, Assassin's Creed, Hitman. There's so many bad. Welcome back, Saturday Night. Welcome back. So maybe I don't mind that there won't be another Metroid. There won't be a Metroid movie. We are getting a Metal Gear Solid movie from Mr. Vogt Roberts. He said that he wants to make it as faithful as possible to the movie. He's even had conversation with Hideo Kojima. Bro. I think we actually talked about that last time. Like a Bollywood version, like Bollywood Metroid. Bollywood Metroid, man. That is awesome. Bollywood Metal Gear Solid. Imagine if Psycho Mantis, if y'all play Metal Gear Solid, you know who Psycho Mantis is. And then Psycho Mantis gets introduced and he takes over Cheryl or Meryl. No, Meryl. I think it's Meryl. I forgot her name. The general's daughter. Whatever her fucking name is. But anyway, she gets possessed by Psycho Mantis, and the scene changes into a Bollywood dance off where Psycho Mantis is taking over soldiers, and then all of a sudden they started to take over. I once saw a cinema screen advertisement that there was going to be a new Mario movie faithful to the games. Yeah, that's been canceled as a game. I actually spoke about this months ago. Yeah, Nintendo was kind of getting ready to do that, but then they just cut the kibosh on it. So that's not going to happen anymore. I think it was mainly because of that, they don't want to do that. But yes, but imagine that. Imagine if Psycho Mantis, he goes and he's wearing a gas mask, so he goes, Snake, I could see your fear, Snake. I could see your fears. I could see your thoughts as well. And then all of a sudden, it's all of a sudden, and it was like, and then he goes, and then it's just goes on the rails, and Snake is just looking, is going, what is this? What's going on? I gotta go find Metal Gear. And Psycho Mantis is going, and then they're like going all over the place, and it, guys, I would pay $1 million if I had it right now, cash, if someone made either a Metroid or a Metal Gear Solid Bollywood movie. I can't stress this enough, guys. This needs to happen. Samus. Imagine Samus doing Bollywood in the Varia suit. Imagine if Ridley just came flapping down, flapping and going, ah! And then all of a sudden the Bollywood movie music hits, and then it just goes ape shit. Imagine Samus doing a Bollywood number with Ridley, with Kraid, with Mother Brain. Imagine that. It'd be so good. Oh, it'd be so good. Please, I am begging you. Bollywood, you have the power to make this happen. Nintendo, you have the power to make this happen. You know, Nintendo can't always get back on the old school Super Mario Brothers movie. They need to at least give it one more chance. I think they should. Nintendo is you know what the problem is? Nintendo are very hesitant to change when they know things don't work, and they just put it away for a while and then they bring it back. So will we ever get a Mario movie? I think one day we will get another Mario movie. I just think that it's got to be made by Nintendo. I think Nintendo just needs a division of filmmakers to make their movies. That make one and see if it works. It doesn't even have to be a real life Super Mario Brothers movie. It could just be animated. Just do that, Nintendo. Do that. You did the show. You did an animated Mario show. It was great. Captain Lou Albano was Mario. I mean, come on, guys. You can do this. You have the power to happen. The power is yours. Heart. So, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, same here. Ah, I used to have that as a tape. My mom recorded that for me on a VHS tape. So I would always be watching the same episodes. Oh, man. That was a good show. I don't even remember the song, but oh, man, it was so good. And then it's like, this brothers and sent to you. And Captain Lou Albano was like, oh, Koopas. Oh, it was so great. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky. We've talked about No Man's Sky before. But ladies and gentlemen, after a little bit of research, I figured out that thanks to Jocko and people who reported it on my on the Becky's page, that No Man's Sky Next is not a new game, but it is going to add major multiplayer gameplay. Now, this is going to be a full multiplayer experience, quote unquote. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us all watch and wonder. So right off the bat, you can already see that there is a change. As you can tell, another big thing that they've added is that you're going to be able to play in third person. You're gonna be able to play in third person with other people, so you could see your dude, which is actually a very good thing. The game does look pretty, I will tell you that. It looks like you can build your own bases because they've added 3 major updates before this. And you can play the third person with your ship as well. Or maybe that's... Oh, I am skeptical about that as well, too. They did lie to us a lot. So, but apparently this is actually one of the confirmed changes, so... Oh my god! Oh, we gotta see those later. We gotta see those later. Oh wait, oh no, those are mine. Okay. Oh wow. This kind of reminds me of the time they showed us those trailers and they kind of lied to us. Oh man, that is so awesome. I've got so many clips. Oh, the Bollywood conversations is just always come here. Okay, so basically, this is what they said this is. No, this isn't a new No Man's Sky. This is just an update. This is an update that they're sending out. It's called Next, which is an update. It says that it's being described as a full multiplayer experience that will allow players to go through the game world alongside one another. Now, they are selling this game as its own game, but if you already own No Man's Sky, this is going to be an update that you're going to get. So this is what the game is. Players will be able to join up with a small team of friends or random travelers, either helping one another to survive or preying upon others. The game will also let groups of friends build shelters and colonies as a team, and then they are shared with all players. Together, players will also be able to take part in space battles. They can race vehicles or even create racetracks that can only be shared within the No Man's Sky community. There will also be character customization. Through the full extent of these features have yet to be detailed. Next time on No Man's Sky. That is pretty much, yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. They've also added, yes, ladies and gentlemen, so yes. The multiplayer mode was a big contention of why No Man's Sky was a big failure. But apparently, since this trailer dropped, they have been getting a lot of good feedback. That's Hello Games, by the way. I honestly, I don't know what to think. But we'll be talking about Hello Games and Sean Murray in a bit. But the fact that, okay, Saturday night, we'll be here. The fact that No Man's Sky is finally getting multiplayer just kind of goes to show that, you know, the developers, they just could have left and taken the money, but honestly, they were skeptical because they have not been able to know how to handle it. But for instance, a couple of says a few replies are skeptical, however, out of concern that the developer will not be able to live up to their high expectations. But unconvinced players won't have long to play the next update for themselves. Okay, so this all comes out next week, this week on the 24th. So in 2 days, No Man's Sky. What does No Man's Sky need, Gabe Zone? I would love to hear what No Man's Sky needs. Honesty, a team of developers. Oh, yeah. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. the thinker of our times. No Man's Sky Battle Royale mode coming out soon. Yes, because that's how you know you've ran out of ideas nowadays. But yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and I know that No Man's Sky is No Man's Sky is a it's an example of what happens when you can't provide the hype that you're building. It blows up in your face. Now, honestly, I don't know really much what else to say. We'll see what happens, because the problem is that the multiplayer is the one that kept on getting brought back into the fray. This is the proof that Sean Murray and No Man's Sky's developers, Hello Games, are a bunch of liars. Player Unknown's Night Royal Sky Birth by Power WAP. Black Ops. Remember, Black Ops is now doing Battle Royale, so they're doing Blackout too. So yes, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, man, that would actually be pretty cool. Look, if you pre-order, I don't condone pre-ordering, but if I ever do get something that I'm featured in as pre-order, I'll be shilling the shit out of that, yes. If I can show up in a game somewhere as a playable character, you bet that I'm going to be like, order a battlefield, okay, pre-order Call of Duty Black Ops 11, and Fico will be in the game as a playable character, and that would be incredible. I don't like Call of Duty, and if they put me in a game, well, ladies and gentlemen, Jocko, if they don't succeed with Black Ops 4, which is Black Ops 4 is what they want, what Activision wanted Call of Duty to be. But guess what? If they fail, you bet we are probably not going to get much more anything else. But ladies and gentlemen, we shall see what happens. But honestly, I want to talk a little bit more about Hello Games and No Man's Sky, because The Guardian, now take that with a grain of salt, apparently interviewed Sean Murray from Hello Games. This is what the interview's title said. It says, No Man's Sky developer Sean Murray, it was as bad as things get. From a writer called Kessa McDonald. Murray and Hello Games coded in near infinite universe and survived a harassment ordeal. For 2 years, they've stuck by the game that put them on the map and led to death threats.
Word of our community's acclaim
spreads. Shit. Jack Arrow, thank you so much for the host. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you for the host. Ladies and gentlemen, this article, in summary, is basically No Man's Sky developer, head of the whole thing, Sean Murray, gets interviewed by The Guardian. Now, essentially, how we start this article is basically that for 2 years, they haven't talked about to anybody. They haven't talked to journalists. They've been essentially, they've been hiding. Hello Games have been hiding. And you know what? I wouldn't blame you. I mean, after so much lying and then getting caught lying over and over and over, I would think you have nowhere else to go but hide away. I mean, honestly, seriously, but the narrative that this article is spinning is that No Man's Sky was a great game, but it was riddled with harassment because when people were disappointed at first, then it just left the attackers. Apparently, the press didn't like this game. Apparently, this person who writes for The Guardian thought that there was like I mean, let me read you the first sentence. So the first thing, as you can see, Sean Murray does not like talking to the press. He says this several times when we met him at the Guildford offices of Hello Games, the development studio that founded in 2008 by Grant Duncan, Ryan Doyle, and David Ream. He is loquacious but nervous. No one in the studio has spoken to any journalists for nearly 2 years since the release of Murray's pet project, No Man's Sky, an extraordinary ambitious space exploration game that aimed to put an infinite universe on a game's console, a game that, when it didn't meet to some players' high expectations, triggered an appalling internet harassment campaign that left the small studio and his staff reeling. Actually, his name is Ream, but yes, I definitely agree. So right off the bat, the person who's writing for The Guardian is painting it as this game was incredible, but we as the people didn't like this game, and so we went after the developers. No, baby girl, baby girl, baby girl. No. What happened was that Peter Molyneux Jr. here lied to everyone. He lied to game journalists. He lied to us. He lied to people that hosted him on late night talk shows. And he lied to everyone. And then when the game came out and it had nothing that they wanted, that he said the game would have, he got crucified for it. Now, of course, there were some people that were actually cross-referencing, which of course, Kessa McDonald says, "Oh, that isn't too flattering." Like, oh, that's not flattering, guys. Stop taking everything that this guy said and then compare it to what you actually got. That's just not flattering. Of course, she continues on saying that that the press didn't actually attack Hello Games, but apparently a lot of people noted that it was empty. Well, he said that, well, let me see. He lied about there being multiplayer. He lied about there being warring factions. He lied about being able to customize your own ship. He customized about you being able to, like there were some planets that had their own specific like kind of life cycles. He lied about a bunch of things. In fact, there's a famous Reddit out there that shows every statement that Sean Murray made, and it compared it to what we actually got on day one. Obviously, he lied a lot about multiplayer. He told people flat out to people in their face. He told Stephen Colbert to his face, "Will you be able to play with other players?" Yes. But he said, his words are, the odds of that happening are very slim because the game is so big that we don't know if you're going to be able to see each other. And they disproved that on day one when two streamers both met and they went to the exact same location, to the exact same planet, and they didn't see each other. And of course, we've got Sean Murray himself admitting at the very beginning, at the day before the game launched, that No Man's Sky was not going to have multiplayer at all. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, this lovely snowflake lied. But the article makes it seem that disappointment players they just left, and then all that was left was just the angry ones, like they were getting attacked. Now, obviously, I'm not okay with the things that some of them actually do. But here's what he said. Here's the first quote from Sean Murray. "The internet is really good at knowing when somebody had made a mistake. It's not necessarily the best at determining the most appropriate response, but it's really good at knowing when somebody has messed up. mess something up. We definitely messed up a whole bunch of communication. I never felt like talking to the press. I didn't enjoy it when I had to do it. And when I did, I was naive and overly excited about my game. There were a lot of things around launch that I regret or that I would do differently. No, Sean, what you did was lie to the press. Look, I don't know why he did it, Gabe. To this day, he hasn't apologized for that. He's like, oh, I don't like talking to the press. I don't like talking to the press. I just don't. I don't. Yeah. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why Sean Murray lied. I think maybe he just wanted to hype the game up as much as he could. And eventually, he wanted to make these things show up in the game, but he knew that they weren't going to be in the game when they launched. I don't know why he lied, but I know he lied a lot, and he got everybody's attention. So basically what happens next, so here's what he's saying is like, oh, that the internet is really good at keep reminding you that you made a mistake. No, Sean, a mistake would have been giving us what we wanted, but it being broken. What you did was give people a game with half the shit you promised missing. Also, reaching the far end of the galaxy, the center of the galaxy. Yeah, a lot of people were very disappointed in that. Okay, so according to the next update, now multiplayer is supposed to be in there. Now, 2 years later, this week, now multiplayer is a thing. Not before, when it was being announced and promoted. Now, 2 years later. Okay. So apparently, they have been also be getting death threats. Yeah. So yeah. So this is where I don't agree. I don't think getting people death threats is effective. I don't think that's threatening somebody to kill them. I don't think it's effective. It just kind of shuts down all conversation when you do that. When you send a death threat, I think it's kind of terrible. They got Scotland Yard and Metro Police involved. He said, we didn't talk about it, but it was as bad as things get. There's a smorgasbord of things that the Angry Mob can do. It is a crowdsourced thing of how bad you can make someone's life. And then he said, he said, this is actually kind of amazing. I remember getting a death threat about the fact that there were butterflies in the original trailer and you could see them as you walk past them, but there weren't any butterflies in the launch game. I remember thinking to myself, maybe when you're sending a death threat about butterflies in the game, you might be the bad guy. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so yeah, okay, so sending death threats. Oh, she behaved. She behaved good. She's in the drunk tank, according to Jacka. Okay, so sending death threats over not seeing butterflies in your game, I think it's kind of warped in a very weird way. But again, Sean Murray showed us gameplay footage of a game that wasn't what launched. We were deceived. I don't condone death threats. I don't condone people sending death threats to developers. Heck, not even Jessica Price, the whore. I don't want her to get death threats, because the problem is that death threats make you look like the bad guy. And that's what Sean Murray's saying. Look, if you're sending me death threats over something that was not in the game, you're the bad guy. But that doesn't invalidate the fact that you told people these things would be in the game, and then when the game came out, it wasn't there. So, sorry, but no, you don't. Your criticism is deserved. You don't deserve the death threats. The criticism, You do deserve it. Okay, so he continues saying, but you know what? The Guardian gives them props for not giving up on the game, which I will props as well. Says, we've did something I think I've always done. When I look back at my life, when I dealt with shitty situations when I was a kid, moving between lots of schools, or when I've had shitty bosses later in life, I basically just get my head down and I work and I avoid. I just focus on making games, making cool creative things, and that's an outlet for me. I think the team just wanted to do that, and that's actually absolutely fine. That's fine. You guys wanted to make a game for people, that's great. But you guys lied about it. You guys lied about things that were going to be in the game. Sean Murray lied. Weird, it's just suddenly now we're supposed to just be like, oh no, you can't be mad at Hello Games anymore because they're giving you what you wanted now. Saturday Night says, not only the bad guy, it shows that certain people evaluate you as a lesser being than a human, that people think that you don't even deserve life. That's actually something that I like to talk about a little bit later after we're done with the articles. We're going to talk about that a little bit more later down the road. But I will say this, yes. When you send a message like this, you are showing that you're kind of like, it's kind of like a lesser version of you. You don't see the people as people, but also the anonymity of the game definitely does kind of your anonymity does kind of give you this, oh, I think I could tell anybody anything I want. So basically this is the stuff that they've done so far. So this is basically what they've done so far with the game. Tonally, No Man's Sky is more 2001 Space Odyssey than Star Wars. Aesthetically, it is inspired by the covers of 1980 sci-fi novels. It is still recognizable as the lonely, abstractly beautiful space exploration game I played in 2016, but 3 big updates have added a lot more. It's now definitely a better game, with much more to do and a clearer structure. You could always fly around the universe, explore planets, craft equipment to make survival easier, trade with aliens, and answer the call of a mysterious galactic intelligence, the Atlas. Now you also can construct bases, drive around in vehicles, and as of next week, invite other players to explore with you in groups of 4. You can crew a freighter together, or colonize a planet with ever-expanding constructions. And according to Sean Murray, a very light multiplayer was envisioned for launch, and we fought right up to the end to add it, but it was immensely challenging, and we knew that it was something that only a handful of people would experience due to the size of the universe. We later added a version of it in the Atlas Rise update, and it was nice, but not hugely impactful to people's enjoyment. What players really wanted was the kind of multiplayer we are adding now. I do think that people who send the death threats, you know, it's kind of like, I understand the anger that you say. You're angry, but remember, you have to be civil about what you feel, because people like the Guardian will take what you do and they'll label it as, you see, guys, you see, game developers I mean, you can't please anybody. Okay, they added more updates, but it still doesn't excuse that Sean light up to launch day with all the multiplayer stuff and others. Oh, yes. I 100% agree. So, I agree, Gabe. So that stuff were added later, and I will commend, that you, I will commend them for adding all that stuff eventually. But they don't deserve my respect. I really don't. Not after what they done. And I'll tell you guys in a second here. So this is another quote from Sean Murray. No Man's Sky was what we wanted it to be when it launched. We always talked about the feeling of landing on a planet that no one has been in one before. It was lonely. It had nice calm ambient moments in it, but we always wanted to expand it. If you played the original game for 20 hours, you probably got the experience that we wanted. But you probably would have never picked up No Man's Sky again. Did you forget the part that you said that you didn't have to do this alone? Because you're kind of making it sound like you gave them exactly what you wanted in that first iteration of the game when you didn't. You didn't give them that game, Sean. You gave them a whole... I think it was announced in 2014. Yes, it was announced on VGX, and then it was revealed more on E3, PlayStation Experience, and a whole bunch of others. But yes, it had a bit of a hype cycle. Yes. Okay, so John Murray says again, I'm super proud of the guys for doing that. There was a lot we got right. That they made a cool, innovative, weird, ambitious game, something interesting and different in an industry where that doesn't happen very much. They delivered on something no one else has done before. It's a game that doesn't really have classic compulsion loops or anything like that. It's relaxing, it's therapeutic, meditative. It's a chill game. You don't hear people say they're addicted to No Man's Sky, but people do play it a long time. Now, yes. So it says, despite the controversy, No Man's Sky sold extremely well and plenty of its players have stuck by it. A year after release, when Hello Games released the Atlas Rise update, about 1 million people showed up to play and the average playtime was 45 hours. The studio may not have talked to the press, but it had created plenty of things for the community, including elaborate online treasure hunts and alternative reality games. The reaction to the trailer for No Man's Sky's next felt like a milestone. Okay. And then he said, that's what you make games for. You stood there and there is admittedly an angry mob in front of you, but behind that there's a crowd of others. I just want to communicate with them directly. I want to make things for them. Okay. And then it says, Hello Games' mistake in 2016 wasn't making a bad game. It was failing to manage expectations when the hype was getting out of control. Let me read that sentence again. Hello Games' mistake in 2016 wasn't making a bad game. It was failing to manage expectations when the hype started getting out of control. Kessa McDonald, let me ask you a question. Who generated the hype? When you say that they didn't manage the hype, you're kind of making it sound like Hello Games did nothing. Who was the person that kept on showing up everywhere? Who was the person that was saying everything about No Man's Sky? I think that the problem isn't that they made a bad game or that they didn't manage expectations. I think the problem was that they lied and got caught and ran away. And somehow, apparently, we're supposed to think that that's okay, that that's not a problem anymore because Hello Games has apparently cleaned up their act and they're doing better. Okay, fine. That's great. The game is now how it was going to be 2 years ago. Gaben says, No Man's Sky and Cuphead were both announced on 2014, both ambitious games in their own right. Look at the differences between the devs and the games itself, though. Well, the differences is that Cuphead, despite it being released a bit later, it did deliver on what they said it was going to be. You didn't have one guy constantly be promising, oh, this game is going to have this, and this game is going to have that, and this is going to be this, and this is going to be that. And then the game comes out, and more than half of the things that you promised are not there. Cuphead and Studio MDHR did the game they said that they were going to do, and showed you, and it worked beautifully. Both of these companies did things that no other company has ever done before. The difference is that back then, the developers did the game they said that they were going to do. Hello Games is just now getting to fulfilling the promises that they made a few years ago over that hype cycle. That managing the hype cycle, that was because of Sean Murray. He lied and he hyped everybody. Everybody. So it's not our fault. It's not our fault that the hype got out of control. You, Sean Murray, did this all on your own along with Hello Games. And finally, we read the last two quotes. In the lead up to launch, oh my God, I would have chopped up my own hand to have more time. We were under enormous pressure from the community and external forces. We were out of money. We were working so hard, way too hard. We've got a much better balance of our lives now. Oh, it wasn't our fault. We ran out of money, which still doesn't excuse you were lying. Still doesn't excuse your lying. But if we hadn't released No Man's Sky when we had, and I was sat down talking to you now after we delayed it 2 years ago, we would not have a game as good as it is right now. Now then you'll see a comment thread where somebody will say, it's my favorite game of all time. That's fantastic. I would have never expected to work on something that would have people saying that about it. Let's read that last one here. If we hadn't released No Man's Sky when we had, and I sat down here talking to you now, after we delayed it for 2 years, we would not have a game as good as it is right now. Anybody notice a problem with that statement? If we had not released the game 2 years ago, you wouldn't have the game you have now. The game we have now is the game you promised us 2 years ago, 4 years ago. The game that you have now is the game you admitted not too long ago in the same article that that doesn't make any sense. Okay? Because you technically do have the game we would have had 2 years ago. The only difference between 2 years ago and now is that the interest for this game would have probably been less. I guess the deal is you release this game because your studio was just out of money. So you lied to the people to get them to come to this game. And then later, it's when you started to give people what they wanted. And to tell you the truth, Sean, I understand. Who are the Moldhauer brothers? Who are they? I'd like to know who the Moldhauer brothers are. I've never heard of them. Please tell me, because I want to know who they are too. That's awesome. But ladies and gentlemen, okay, so this whole piece of The Guardian just kind of paints, again, mob mentality. Oh, so there you go. Nice. Okay. All right. They have my respect. Moldhauers, you guys got my love. Need to make another edition of this game and have the Moldhauer brothers get included. Make the game, make this like yay thick. I want another one of these, seriously. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, to conclude this part of the cast, essentially, here's my conclusion. No Man's Sky's developers, Hello Games, lied through their teeth, saved their asses. And the game came out, and it wasn't anybody's expectations. They lied. They lied to people all over. They lied to us. They generated the hype, themselves to blame for generating the hype. In fact, that game is a good example of why you should not get yourself hyped for games. You should be skeptical about games. It's not that you not to get excited. I don't blame you. Excitement is a human emotion. It's like I don't blame you for feeling excited. I mean, obviously, it's exciting to see games get announced at E3 all the time. But what I'm trying to say is that what Hello Games did was generate this hype, and Sony helped them generate this hype, and it just got out of control. The point where it's just not there anymore. I mean, it's ooh, Chad has a luscious beard. I'm gonna have to check this out.
Rank up.
Oh,
hold the line.
Oh shit, Japanese tutor. Oh my god, thank you. Oh my god, Scott Pilgrim is going insane. Thank you, Japanese tutor. My god, I've been raided by a Japanese tutor. Hold the line. well anyway, well guys, welcome to the stream. Oh man, Jimmy 735. Oh dang. Well guys, welcome. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for invading this fine program. We were just coming to the end of our discussion of No Man's Sky and Hello Games and their recent update. And the conclusion that I come up with is that while I don't think you should trust Hello Games, well, and Bison, fight him off. I'm trying to get my point. The point is that No Man's Sky's developers, yeah, they lied, but at the very least, you know what? They lied, and nobody should trust them ever again. But at least they didn't run and they didn't take the money. Now, whether they deserve a second chance, that depends on who you ask. I personally, look, if we're getting the game now that we didn't get before, at least that's a compensation. That's a win. I do think, however, that this should never be done again, and you should still be skeptical. You should still be skeptical about what people promise you in video games, because if you're not skeptical, if you get too overhyped and they lie to you, then it's gonna feel like a betrayal all over again, and it shouldn't. And that's the point, ladies and gentlemen. Do not trust game companies, publishers and developers complicitly at 100%. Hold them, be skeptical and hold them accountable, and don't send them death threats, please. Yes, disagree with them, but don't send them death threats. That's just no. That's just no. Don't send them death threats. That's pretty scummy. Ladies and gentlemen, does this look incredible to you? Does it not look amazing like the Amazing Spider-Man? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Spider-Man PS4 bundle has been announced. A Pro bundle with the 1 terabyte PlayStation Pro limited edition Spider-Man that features the game. This beautiful, miraculously looking, nice PlayStation, which we should play a video. Look at that. Oh yeah. Then it's just looking. Oh, this game is gonna be so crunk. This game is gonna be great. I hope it's great. I hope it's great. I mean, Insomniac does make good games, so show me the console. Oh, okay. That just looks sexy and beautiful. Look at that. It's a red, amazing red color. Oh, that's it? Really? No. But anyway, guys, this is the console. This is going to feature a 1 terabyte PlayStation 4 bundle, which is going to feature the game, obviously. And apparently, according to this, it's also going to include the it's going to include the DLC vouchers as well too. So you're going to get DLC as well which is actually pretty sweet. I do actually, if I had not bought the PlayStation 4 Pro now, I probably would have just gotten this version of it. I wouldn't buy this console again though, because I mean, look at it, it looks beautiful. I mean, Spider-Man is one of my favorite superheroes ever, and I would have loved to have had, I mean, the controller is kind of, it's kind of generic. I would have wished that the controller would have had like Spider-Man symbols here engraved, or like web shooting graphics here across the, they kind of messed the opportunity. It looks kind of generic, but the console having the Spider-Man logo, that's just incredible. That looks pretty sweet. But I wouldn't buy this. I mean, I already own the console, so, but I am getting the game eventually. So this is the, oh yeah, I'd seen this new PS4. Yeah, it's a PlayStation 4. It's good. I own mine and I'm super happy. I've not regretted it one bit. I don't care much about superheroes. I'm an Xbox guy, and I even love this one. They did a great job. Yeah. You got to give it not just to Sony. You got to give credit to Insomniac Games, because Insomniac Games are the guys that made this. Insomniac's known for making great games. I've got a couple here. They did the Resistance games. I mean, Insomniac has done great games in the past. They did the Resistance games, the Fall of Man games. Those are very good games. Seriously, Insomniac is one of Sony's better development houses. So seriously, I'm very excited for that game. However, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not, ladies and gentlemen, own a PlayStation 4 Pro and you want Spider-Man, I would definitely do good as to getting this version of this game. Now, I don't usually condone pre-ordering games, but if you are a Spider-Man fan and you want this on day one, you might want to put in a little bit of money for it. Obviously, I would wait to see if this game comes out, see if it's good. But if you're like a console collector, I would totally get this. Of course, if you can wait a little bit longer, they make these by the bulk, so they're not like Nintendo bad. They make limited editions, but they make quite a few. And to continue the gravy train of releases, Jocko's favorite game franchise, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, announces its own edition, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what you get, ladies and gentlemen. This thing right here, it's called the Mystery Box Edition. Ladies and gentlemen, you get all of this stuff in this box here. So, first thing I gotta say is this box looks pretty cool. This is a really cool looking mystery box. It says that it's supposed to light up and it's supposed to emit zombie sounds, kind of similar to the Zombie Modes mystery box that you get the weapon. I kind of dig that. That's a pretty cool addition. Now it says that also the game will include you have physical patches for all 10 games specialists. So you get like what, patches for your jacket or whatever? Okay, you get some lithographs depicting characters and events from the Zombies mode. You get the copy of the first Dark Horse's Call of Duty Zombies. What? They have a comic book? What? They have a comic book? Call of Duty has a comic book? No. No, we don't need comic books. We don't need them to... No. No! Okay, and then you get some pins of the heroes of the Zombies mode are also in the box, made by fake pins. The final few pieces of items includes a Black Ops 4 pop socket phone grip. Are you fucking kidding me? A phone grip? And a 1,000-piece a puzzle. Okay, so you're getting a puzzle, pins, patches, a comic book, some lithographs, and the game in like a steel book. But you get the pass, guys. You get the Black Ops pass. You know, the thing that you have to get in order to, you know, play anything. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. It's also worth noting that this whole thing will cost $200. So if you guys want Black Ops and you got a nice little mystery chest in it as well too, there is that. So no, ladies and gentlemen, no, I will not be getting Black Ops 4's mystery box edition. I will not be getting that game anyway. Given the fact that we talked about the last time where apparently the special edition content is locked behind the Game Pass, which means you have to get the Game Pass in order to get the game at all, period, at this point. So, no. I personally think that Call of Duty really ought to just focus more on making the game good. Because if they fail this one, you're probably sure. Look, here's the reality of the things. Here's the thing, Jocko. I don't think that Call of Duty is going to die. I think Call of Duty might end up going on a hiatus, kind of like the same way that Assassin's Creed did. And I don't know if... I think despite this, Call of Duty also may have a big enough fan base that they're just going to get this game no matter what. Does COD need to die? I think it's needed to die years ago, but the games are still getting made, and you will still get people paying stupid amounts of money to get all of their content. And honestly, I honestly can't see. Battlefield 5, you say, is the real deal. No more game passes. Game looks better. No bullshit. Free DLC. I think that's and that's another good response. But let me ask you something. If Battlefront 2 hadn't gotten through the controversies, do you still think that Battlefield 5 would have had the loot boxes and the microtransactions and the game passes? Do you think that? I think if they had succeeded, they probably would have just shoved them in Battlefield. But gladly, that's not happening. My God, we are getting so many collector's editions announces. So, ladies and gentlemen, Leon S. Kennedy's new adventure, Resident Evil 2, has a collector's edition that will cost $199. Now, here are all the details, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you get. And thank you, this has an expansion. Okay, so, for in only at games. Oh, fuck you, GameStop. Okay, so you get the game, obviously. You get the DLC pack voucher. You get the deluxe edition of this game. You get the soundtrack. You get a nice little 12-inch bust of the greatest cop in the universe, Leon S. Kennedy. You get an art book. You get the box packaging, which is an Raccoon City Police Department box. Also get the DLC, the deluxe pack features the original version soundtrack swap, which basically allows you to swap the soundtrack for the original game soundtrack. Are you shitting me? That's kind of cool. You get the Arcalay Sheriff Leon costume, the noir. You get the Samurai Edge, which is kind of making the game pay to win because the Samurai Edge is a magnum. You get Claire's military noir costume. You also get the Elsa Walker. But if you get the pre-order, you get the Samurai Edge weapons, which is Chris's and Jill's models. And there is far more detail down below here. Like, for instance, the figure, which is on his first day, which is recreated in mirror image of the game to the smallest details. You get the 32-page art book, which is called Ben's File, which is a book left by someone called Ben Bortoloschi, which is a freelance journalist that talks about the incident of Raccoon City. So, okay, I guess it's not an art book. You get a digital soundtrack, which also has a selection arrangements from the original game. Get a renovation design poster from the Raccoon City Police Department. And of course, you get the actual game. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know we're talking a ton about collector's editions. I used to be someone that I used to get these. I got the Fallout 3 lunchbox. I used to do that all the time. I didn't care because I thought that they were cool editions for collectors to have that. So, you know, not vehemently against collector's editions. Look, if you want the collector's editions of these things, that's fine. It's great. If you like them, buy them. Just keep in mind that when you're doing this, you're still doing this to pre-order a game that hasn't been released yet. So you always need to keep that in mind. Wow, hold on. Jocko says, all the kids will buy it just because it's COD and it has a BR mode. So all people who play it won't even be allowed to buy the shit. Yes. So Battlefield will definitely be a better game. Resident Evil 2 will definitely be a better game. Black Ops, we'll see. But Resident Evil 2, sorry, apologies. I don't know what's wrong with me. Looking very promising. The remake looks very promising. Collector's edition, it's kind of underwhelming. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hold on just 1 second. Hold on. But anyway, guys, to continue to we're down the stretch a little bit. We're almost finished with the live cast here. So one of the last news talking about today is the studio that's working on Darksiders 3 over at Gamescom will be announcing 2 new games between now and Gamescom. So they got a couple of games that are in the works. They have Biomutant, they have Darkstalkers 3, of course, Fate to Silence, Townsman VR, Wrenchfest, and they also have Avalanche Studios' Generation Zero as a game that THQ Nordic is publishing. So they said that they were going to be announcing 2 games coming to Gamescom, and one of them is supposed to be a Gamescom world exclusive announcement. Now they said it could happen between now and the dates of Gamescom, which is exactly a month away. Gamescom is in Cologne. Wait, where is Cologne? Oh wait, I remember. Cologne is in Germany. So in Cologne, Germany, Gamescom is between August 21st to the 25th. It's a games convention. It's actually free for admittance. People can go in for free, I think. I think it's free. Don't quote me, but I've heard Gamescom is free. But anyway, Gamescom is one of the big gaming events, similar to E3, kind of similar to Tokyo Game Show. But Gamescom is well known. They announce a whole bunch of stuff. It's just Culling. Oh, Gamescom is not free. Okay, so never mind. Okay, so Saturday Night has confirmed that it's not free. I could have sworn it was free, but it isn't. Okay, so Cologne is, you need pre-order tickets in March. Ooh. Have you ever been to Gamescom Saturday Night? Oh, dang. Oh, dang, dangy, 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 dang. We got ourselves We have ourselves a German streamer. Dragons here? Won't be here for a long... Dragons here? Oh, man. We're just talking about... I see a dragon. But why is she a dragon? Rude to call your GF a dragon. And if it's the one from Cuphead, I hate that dragon. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen. So, for those of you who live in Germany, you know, you guys can go to Gamescom next month. And if you guys like to go, tell me how Darkstalkers 3 is at. Tell me how the game is, if you like it, you don't like it. I know that it's expensive. It kind of sounds like it's an expensive event, but it get a crowded event. Did I just say Darkstalkers? It's a mistake I always make when I'm talking about Darksiders. It's Darksiders. But you know what? I'm thinking of Darkstalkers, the fighting game, the Capcom fighting game. It's Darksiders. That's... Yeah, Darksiders 3. Did you see the 12-minute gameplay footage that they showed? They showed like a 12-minute gameplay reveal on IGN. It's called IGN First. They reveal like 12 minutes of gameplay of the pre-alpha. Yeah. Yeah. Playing the her hair is all over the place with that trailer. So, not a big fan of the whip, but I certainly looks like... Bro, I'm a fan of the whip. You know why? Because of Castlevania. I want some Castlevania. You don't get the... Oh, doesn't it? Oh, it does. The hair is kind of floaty. But you know what? When Fury becomes like when Fury herself... You know what? Her name is Fury. As well, too. Well, you got to remember that the game is also in pre-alpha as well, too. So keep that in mind as well, too. It is a pre-alpha. So that means that the game is still in the works here. And finally, today, ladies and gentlemen, for all of you Xbox owners, Jacko, this is for you. Xbox Ultimate Game Sale discounts over 700 games, ladies and gentlemen. So this is kind of like the Steam summer sale. So they've marked down 700 games, Xbox One games, 360 games, their add-ons. You could get them on sale for up to 65% off. You also can get an extra 10% off on select titles if you're a member of Gold as well too. Also, actually, let's click on the link here. So out here, you can check it out here. Go into the promotions of the games. So you see, you can get new games. You get 67% off if you're Gold. You can get 33%. You can get it for 25% off, or 33% off. You could get Ark instead of 50%, 60% off. You could get Assassin's Creed for 50% off. So instead of $60, you get it for $30, and it goes on and 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 on. And also, you can also and also, here's another thing. You could get a 3-month membership for Game Pass for $10. You can also get a year's worth of Xbox Live Gold for either 3 months for $10 or $40. That's actually pretty cool. Dollars, money and moolah. I'm actually going to get the 3 months worth of Xbox Pass. I'm going to try the Game Pass because this is the stuff that we can play. I can play stuff like, all right, Nick, I'm going to be here for a couple of more minutes. So because I could play stuff like State of Decay 2, Sea of Thieves. I could play all of these games that they get included little by little on the Game Pass, which is a good idea. I honestly think that's a really good idea. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be trying the Game Pass, sure. So don't worry, I will be trying it, and I'll try it for about 3 months and let you guys know how that is. 3 months is enough time to see if enough game content gets added to it each month, but also at the same time, it gives you enough time to see whether it's worth it. You know, like whether it's like, you know, you're going through like the notions. I mean, this essentially like you're gonna give this game a chance. Will you give this game a chance? It's good. Just try it in the Game Pass. So that's actually I might be able to join you in Forza. I don't play racing games, but I will be able to join you on Forza Horizon, which you'll show me if that game is worth it. But you know what? For $10 for 3 months, for $10, get a chance to play all these games. It's absolutely insane. It is too good of an opportunity to pass this up. That is the one thing that I will definitely try. The $10 Game Pass, I will definitely get this. Well, we'll see, Jocko. We'll see. As I said, I'm not really a racing game player, but ladies and gentlemen, that will be it. That is definitively something. So anyway, hold on just a second here. I hate this little notebook. It's just can't like a regular notebook. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I will be getting the pass. I'll review it, and I'll let you know within 3 months if it's worth it of getting or not. So, okay, so that is the last bit of info that I want to discuss. But we've got about 15 minutes left, so I like to just open discussion. So I said earlier in the stream that I was going to talk about, you know, stuff that maybe perhaps you guys want to suggest, things that I add to the stream, like things I could improve on the stream, things that you'd like to see, maybe even games you want me to play. You know, like I'm open for suggestions for stream recommendations, you know, like things you like about the stream, things you don't like about the stream. Really just open for a discussion. Plus I also want to talk about whether Hello Games should get a second chance. You want the Wednesday live cast back? Irrelevant Naive, what is going on? I don't know who Sloot is, but sorry, there is no Sloot, so I don't know who Sloot is. You are in the wrong place. Sorry. But anyway, here's the thing. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that is very true. Becky is definitely a Sloot. The Sloot is Becky. Oh, now I get it. Yeah, Irrelevant Naive. What's up? But let's get acquainted with it, just doing it that way. So but anyway, guys, Hello Games makes a game, and suddenly, you know, like, they lie to everybody, and now the game is where it's supposed to be. And I think, honestly, despite everything I said, I think it's great that the game is finally how it was supposed to be. So now people who were getting No Man's Sky for the first time will actually get the game they were promised. They lied, but you know what? They kept themselves to themselves, and they definitely did what they did quietly away from journalists, and they just made the game better. So you know what, for that I give them commendations for them not running away, but clearly, you know, they can't blame that the game was just poorly received. They lied, and the game just came out they didn't come out the way that they said it was going to be. So if they, I think, could be totally forgiven them if they lower the game's price, like for half off, and apologize publicly. So Saturday Night wants the live casts back on Wednesday. The thing is that I want the, I mean, while I did like making the live casts on Wednesday, I do like just getting them down to just once a week. Because it gives me more opportunities to just, you know, to share games. I mean, like adding 2 extra hours of a game definitely helps me to progress to the next games. So I'm not out. I mean, I'm just trying this out. So if enough people want this back on Wednesdays, I totally would definitely bring it back. So I like doing these. It's just that it just requires a lot of work, because the thing that what I do Saturday night is I like to show you something here. What I do is, let me just show you this. I've got this little like outline that I've got here of all the points that I want to talk about. So basically what I do is I just take this and I take the articles and I summarize them, and I put points that I want to talk about in the game during the live cast. And I realized that this is a much more effective way of doing the live casts, but at the same time it just adds a bunch more work during the evenings, and it's just me. So so I've noticed that it just spends more time going through articles, and I feel like I know that the research and sorting through the discussion points is difficult, but I was actually doing it. It's just it is a lot of time consumption. But you know what? I'm not completely against bringing them back on Wednesdays. So if you like, what I could do is I'll run a poll if you like, and I'll ask people online and on my Discord and everybody, just kind of to see whether you guys want to see the live cast back on Wednesday. I did like making them, but the problem is that it can be very time consuming at times, and also the main crux of the channel is just my gameplaying. So the more gameplaying that I could do, like for instance, like there are times where during the weekends I've lately find myself where I haven't been able to stream as much. So adding those 2 extra hours to stream gameplay footage is actually something that I really like. So and also there is a couple of stuff like personally wise, health wise, I've just kind of seen myself just kind of misbehave so much that I'm just gaining so much weight as well too. I kind of want time to focus on that as well too. But you know what, Saturday night, I'm not completely dismissing this. I will definitely think about bringing them back on Wednesdays. I'll try to see if I could figure out a way to manage the time so that I could do it. So we'll talk. I'll definitely put this. We'll mark this up here, like suggestions. We'll put this here. Put them here as like live cast. Maybe we could even do different things. Maybe we could do different things. Maybe the live cast wouldn't be something like exactly the same. Maybe we could do like different things, like maybe look more at gameplay videos or trailer announcements, and then we could like discuss those more as well too. Whereas here we just discuss the bigger topics, stuff like that. There is that as well too. You need more time to fap, just admit it. I'm not even gonna say that as a joke, because then you'll just take that and make it into like they'll put it as a highlight or a clip, and then you'll be like, you see, he said that. So I know how the internet works, Jocko. I know how it works. I know what you're thinking. You want me to say it even as a joke, because then to be like, oh, that's why Fico needs the Wednesdays. No. You're a sneaky little fellow. Oh, hold on. Victor was pinging me. Oh man, hold on. Hold on. He says, when I finish this game, I want to compare our end game's Credo builds. I'm curious about all the available build options. Do you remember what level you finished when we finished? I do not. I will check. Oh, Victaru, he's still playing God of War. I'll admit to anything if Jocko asked me. That's not some. Why would you do that? So anything? So okay. So what else do you guys recommend for my stream? I mean, in terms of like things that you like, what about things you don't like from my streams? I know you guys are nice and you guys are, you know, you guys, but honestly, excuse me, hold on. I actually have to trim this. I have to trim this at least a little bit around there. How about a retro day where you play older games? Retro games. A day? A retro day. Maybe, I don't like your job from your stream. It reduces your stream time. Oh, I love my job away from streaming. Unfortunately, I can't go full time. I can't do this full time. I can't afford it. I'm still not even getting paid by Twitch yet. So it takes time to get to that level. But honestly, no, the job still has to stay. Sorry, Saturday Night. That's kind of like I can't write that one down. But I will definitely consider doing like a retro game day. Like for instance, like every 2 weeks, or maybe every Saturday, maybe I could do like a special like off the cuff game. You know what I was thinking about doing was, since I'm a part of the Humble Monthly, I could install one of the Humble games and play it every Saturday just to show you guys. I love mine. Unfortunately, I have no time to stream at all, but then I don't even want to stream. Well, then why are you complaining? Why are you complaining about not being able to stream? If you could stream. Holy shit. Jocko, if you don't want to stream, then why are you complaining about not being able to stream? It's like, it's very weird. It's a very weird complaint. But I'll write that down as one. Maybe even a community multiplayer day. People vote on what games you'll play. Ooh, you know what? Community multiplayer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I know you can. You're free to do it. And Mighty's biggest critic on your stream, no Phoenix Wright. I know he keeps asking for it. You know what? Okay, you could tell. No, I didn't miss his complaint. If we do if we do retro, I will definitely do Phoenix Wright. So you could tell him that. Tell Mighty that if we do the retro game, we'll do Phoenix Wright. I have to figure out how to make that happen. I think we can make it with an emulator. I think we could do it. No, trust me. I've actually played a little bit of Phoenix Wright, so I think it would be a perfect game to get me to react to. So anyway, what about things you don't like on my stream? I know these are all great suggestions, but what about things you don't like? Things you'd like me to improve? Like things that you've noticed that things that could be holding me back. About what about like stuff like stuff that you guys notice that I'm not doing and I should be doing, or things that I do that you don't like? I mean, I'm a big boy, I'll take it. You know that really grinds my gear about your stream? The fact that you really... What? You know what really grinds my gears about your stream? The fact that you really, why ever you do that, but the fact that sometimes when I come here, you're actually offline. I can't handle that. I know. I'm sorry I can't be on stream like 24/7. But honestly, I would like to stream more. I've even contemplated doing 3-hour streams every day, like maybe waking up earlier and then doing an extra hour every day. So no, that's fine. That's fine. No. We're leaving in a minute and Spawner shows up. Oh shit. Spanor! It's 1 o'clock and my stream is about to end, but welcome. Welcome, Mr. Spawner. How have you been? How have you been, sir? I hope you're doing good, man. I hope things have been going well. Let me take a sip of water. I'll stay a little bit longer because Spawner. Oh yeah, you'll get that. Yeah, Saturday night you will get the video clips, best of clips. You will get that, and I'll think about the Wednesday live cast again. I'll definitely think about it. I am doing good, Spawner. I'm doing really good. Oh my god. Oh my god, you scared me with me. Holy shit. No, not with that one. No, I didn't. Oh, okay. Oh, what I was talking about was no. It is a no. Jesus. What I was talking about was as I was ending my stream, was talking about ways that like I was asking for suggestions of things that you would like to see me do on stream, or like things that you could improve the stream, or things that you don't like about my stream that you would like me to like not do. You know, like I'm just kind of like trying to understand how I can make the stream better. I don't want it to get stale. I don't want it to just be the bare minimum. So I was just kind of wondering if you guys, if anyone had any suggestions. So, ooh, Get a Cindy. Get a Cindy. That would kind of limit my options in OkCupid or christianmingle.com. If I go to one of those dating sites that I just put, look, your name has to be Cindy, suddenly all of a sudden everything is just fucking jurr. Oh, you know what? That cooking show sub goal, actually a really good idea. I've actually been thinking about it, and I think that that is a good sub goal. To do that, I think I would like to get to do something like that. I think it would have to be like 50 subs or maybe 25 subs or 30 subs, something. It can't just be 10, because the problem is that I have to get equipment, and that would make things very difficult. So I'd set it up. I think I can figure it out. I mean, I would just have to get one of these. I could get one above the microwave or above there. I could get one on top of the cutting board. I could get one on the side. It would be a mess. A Google survey. Ask a bunch of questions with multiple or solo choice, and at the end of an optional content, and people will give their comment on what to improve. Google survey. Maybe straw poll is a little too limiting, so maybe I'll just do Google survey. See, that's the thing. It's not, it's the thing that I'm doing, these are polls, but what I need is a certain actual survey. Yeah, that's actually a good suggestion. Thank you, Spawner. Definitely. He can just ask how. Actually, I don't think that it is impossible to do. The thing about that is it would require a lot of... see, the thing is, I've seen enough cooking shows, and my mom used to teach cooking, enough shows to see that it does require a bit of planning. But we'll see. We will see Fico unbox a frozen pizza. See him shoving the pizza. No, 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 no. That will simply not do. No. See, what I will do is I will actually make a pizza for you guys. Stream. I will make a pizza. I've made pizzas. What I haven't done is make my own pizza dough, which I know how to make pizza dough. I just don't have like I don't have like a machine. I don't have a KitchenAid. So baking might be out of the question. However, ooh, it's getting me ideas. No, Saturday night. You know what? The ducks haven't been showing up as recently. So the ducks haven't been getting fed. So that I'm not gonna let my ducks in the house. No, 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 no. No, no, I don't want the floors to get messed up. I don't want duck shit all over the floor either. I could send some over to Germany. Man, if something that, you know what Germany needs? Germany needs empanadas. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make an empanada. I'm gonna try to see if I can make if I could get like an empanada made into like a hat, and then wear it like a chef hat, and then this is like the empanada chef, and then I would just make he can do both depending on which way he deems it to be better. Hold on, I must have missed something. Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I know that's a thing that a lot of people are doing. I would also like to research how people do these cooking shows. There's actually one streamer that I would like to follow, and I like to see how she does her cooking streams. So that gives me like an idea of how to actually do that. So that would actually be... Oh, man. I've actually got that written down on my posts. Emily Empanada. We're always talking to you about making empanadas and saying, man, if I wanted to make empanadas and send it to you guys, I'd have to actually freeze them, obviously, buy dry ice, pack them up, and hopefully send them to you guys, and it makes them there, and they won't be like all unfrozen and shitty. That would actually be pretty sweet if you guys, that would actually be super, super cool. Of course, it would cost a bit to send it to you guys, but I'm sure that we can that. But like maybe in the future, like down the road, if this thing actually even becomes a thing. So also, I need to stop eating junk food because I'm gained so much weight over the past month that is actually making me feel shitty. So I got to actually like stop doing that. But I wouldn't mind cheating to make this for you guys. Express ship empanadas. Maybe this might turn into an empanada empire. Actually, I would love to learn how to make the empanada shell, the thing that covers it all. So that would be something interesting to do. Yeah, I could get. I got some Puerto Rican cooking books here that I could get some more ideas from. Trust me, there's a ton of ideas. I'm like, look. Mainly, I just like to see the streams just as a flow, just to kind of understand, because I know that when you edit a cooking show, the way that you edit the cooking show basically is you make the thing twice. It's a multi-hour shoot. You have to you make it twice for the camera, and you then make it twice just to show you. It's very complex. Get some for Becky Con. Becky Con. Open a little empanada counter at Becky's coffee shop. Becky's coffee shop presents Fico's empanadas. Oh man. From the cooking stream I saw, all I could tell you is they have a camera in the kitchen, mostly where the streamer is gonna stay mostly. Then just simple, the streamer just cooks. I think that would actually be, yeah, I like to observe, because I know that you can get multiple cameras, you can put multiple angles, so I could get a couple more of these, and then I could just artist tape them at the top of the cooking thingy. And then what I could do is I could take the laptop, because I have a laptop. I might have to get a better laptop, but I could get the laptop, or what I could do is I could just get a USB hub, extend it, and then stream here. But then how would I control the stream? I would have to constantly be coming over here. Trust me when I tell you, we'll figure this out. We'll figure this all out. BeckyCon is a thing next year. Ooh. Oh my god, my foster family being here as well too, that would actually be super awesome. Maybe we could do some BeckyCon live cooking thing if more people would like to take a part of such thing. I could cook. I need to see Becky. I want to know what this BeckyCon is. Hold on, go back to let me go to the whore, I'm sorry, Becky's Kofifi shop. Wow, man. The announcements, hold on. Announcements. I've seen the announcements that we got like 100 members. I did see that. I thought that was amazing. Good job. By the way, Jocko, you and Atreyu and you guys killed it, man. You did it. Impressive. We got 100 members as a part of the Becky's Coffee thing. A rebranding. So we need like our own Becky. So Becky's gonna go like a Doctor Who reincarnation. Nice, very nice. Becky's challenge. I would love to participate in this art challenge, but honestly, I haven't drawn in so long that I just don't know I just don't think I could do it. The third announcement is that we will support the Great Games Done Slow charity event to raise money for Checkpoint, a charity organization that raises awareness for mental health issues for gamers. A team campaign has been set up and everyone is more than welcome to join the Becky's Coffee Shop team and stream, chill, relax games and slow and relax as you want. Hold on. Oh, okay. Oh, you know, my Becky Empanada. Ooh, Becky Empanada. This is good. I want to participate. I want to participate. I want to participate. The cams. Mike. Jack already has my canoe ready for BeckyCon. Oh my lord. I want to be a part of this charity event. Seriously, this is awesome. One of the things that I always wanted to do, that I would love to do is do charity for a stream for charity. So that's something along the lines of a long-term goal. But guys, me and Icy are gonna row to the Netherlands. Ooh! XSplit and you are gonna be doing? Aw, dang. Oh my god, I can't wait. Guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. I gotta take care of a couple of things on my end. Yeah, that's something that I wanted to do for a while back. I wanted to do it on when I was doing the YouTube channel. But that's something that I'd like to do one day, like a charity stream. But you know what? That is awesome. Yeah, that's but I mean if I could do something for the Becky stream, I would like totally do it. That sounds so awesome. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. It's super hot in here. My air conditioning isn't working. And I need this to be fixed, man. This is just bad. So guys, I'll let you guys go now. I thank you so much for all of the feedback. Spawner, I'm sorry that I have to go so soon, but I do have to take care of some things. I will get back, for instance, like, got it set up on Twitch. Hold on, give me 1 second. I just have to check one quick thing here. Let me pause this. Then it says here that where's the clock? Where's the clock? Clock is not here. Okay, so it says I'll be back at 4 p.m. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back at 4. I'm gonna get myself some lunch. Yeah, but my AC doesn't work, so I'm feeling your pain. Well, anyway, guys, I will be back later. Whoops. Wrong one. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And you guys are awesome. You guys are loved, honestly. Thank you so much for the suggestions. This is definitely not the most recent. This is outdated. Hold on. Let me see if we refresh it. Okay, so it's not updating it. Oh shit. Okay guys, take it easy, and I really appreciate your suggestions. You guys take care, and I really appreciate all of the advice and all of the suggestions. And Saturday night I'll definitely think about the Wednesday stream again, and we'll see what we could, if we could figure out what to do. Okay, take it easy guys. Oh, you and I are feeling the same thing. Oh man.